Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gilded Flask, where adventure is never far. My name is Barry, and I will be your dungeon master for today. And I'm joined by three lovely people. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, I am so excited. Also, I'm Daniel. I'm playing Corey Flinsiker, the Tabaxi Artificer Rogue. That way.
Hi, my name is Morgan. I'm going to be playing Bio Aurelia, the Tiefling Gunslinger, and I'm so happy to be seeing you guys again.
It has been too long, and I am Jed. I am playing Petro, the Furbolg Paladin.
And as we have done over the last couple of episodes, when we're live on Twitch, we always take a little moment to have just a chat with you guys, like answer a couple of questions. We always do take a question with us just in case, but I believe I saw one in chat from Dragon.
Cool beans.
Cool.
I think. Are we?
Yeah, we got a game to play, right? So should we probably go? Yeah. So the moment you've all been waiting for, I do hope. Yeah, we got a game of the Dungeons of Drakkenheim, so we might as well delve into the dungeons. Will you join us?
Drakkenheim. Once the glittering jewel of Westamar, beacon of civilization, academic study, and religious pursuit. But one fateful day, death fell from the heavens, razing the once vibrant city to rubble. Then, sickness, pandemonium, and monstrous mutations that overtook the few who survived. And yet, beneath the decay and calamity, the remains of Drakkenheim revealed a new secret. Whispers of this discovery crept across the lands. Delirium. Survivors, crusaders, and fortune seekers from near and far battled for dominance, ruthlessly vying for power over the ruined city. In the midst of chaos, three heroes stand ready to survive, to rebuild, and perhaps to profit. And the key to their success may lie deep in the dungeons of Drakkenheim.
Yeah, it's good to be back in Drakkenheim, guys. So, what happened in our last episode? Well, you were both both captured and captivated by the time bubble of the Black Ivory Inn. One of the few inns still standing in Drakkenheim for some obscure reason. You found out rather quickly when you entered the session before that it was actually through a freak accident involving magic and delirium and such, that a time bubble was created, basically reliving the last couple of hours of Drakkenheim just before the meteor hit. Right up until and including the meteor's impact. You've relived through that horrific moment for a couple of times, Groundhog Day style, where you constantly basically got reset and had to figure out how to get out of that. And you succeeded. For in the basement of the Black Ivory Inn, you found a room where the remains of the lady playing piano in the Black Ivory Inn were still there. Her existence was the reason for this time bubble, for she used a wish spell to become the best piano player in Drakkenheim alive. And due to the meteor hitting and a spike of that meteor going right through her as she was playing piano back 15 years ago, the wish spell wouldn't allow her to die, but instead twisted her into some weird eldritch fleshy being and created a time bubble to let her be the best piano player alive forever. But you found this fleshy monstrosity and swiftly put an end to it, which was kind of an exciting fight because it wasn't easy, but you managed to survive. You killed it.
Barely.
Thereby hopefully ending the bubble for good, but you don't know, because the whole reason why you went to the Black Ivory Inn was to search for a hidden smuggler's passage, which would supposedly lead you under the walls of Drakkenheim. And when you fought this creature, you also found the passageway in this same room. And when the creature was defeated and the time bubble was going to collapse, you, without a hesitation, ran for the doors that would lead you into this passageway and quickly ran out. That is where we ended last time. I don't think I skipped anything, did I?
I'm really hurt. Just throwing that out there. Just it's as a thing, just as a mention. I think everybody's pretty hurt. I think everybody's hurt, but I'm really hurt. And I think everybody's hurt, but I'm really hurt.
I think I'm still full health, but I did have to use. What did I have to use? I had to use something. Action surge. And Petro almost got eaten.
Do you mean second wind?
Yeah, Petro almost got eaten.
I'm just like munching on a potato as he. No, I'm fine.
I'm a little bit hurt, but mostly my sanity is hurt, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what you gotta understand, Petro, is that there was no saving a lot of those people, and we shouted back. We told them to get out if they could. So who knows? Maybe they did. Maybe they were able to get out. But if we got stuck in there, it would have been just another casualty.
Well, I mean, we have to. Maybe we can go back, and maybe we can start the time loop over. And this time, we do everything perfectly, and none of them die.
So that is a very fair question, and one thing that I hoped that was going to be answered. Since you find yourself right now in a hallway, in a passageway. Now, this passageway is rough-hewn rock behind the double doors that you ran through. And it is unlit, and it seems to stretch for quite a while. And my question, so I know which map to load, are you going to pursue this tunnel to see where it leads, if it leads anywhere at all, if it's collapsed, if there's monsters in there, or if it actually does lead to supposedly the inner city? Or are you going to go back into the Black Ivory Inn to see if you can still get in there?
Petro,
I'm fine with taking a peek.
I don't know what's back there, Petro. I don't know if it's something that we can. I just don't know.
Oh, I mean, it worked the first 2 or 3 times, right? Maybe we can just do one more time loop. And just do everything perfectly. We have all the information now, and then nobody has to die. That's what we should do. That's the right thing to do, right?
Sure, Petro. Let's go. Just take a peek. Just be very careful, okay?
Yeah. Oh no, of course. It's just there's so many lives, and if that many people died because of me, I just that I couldn't
Petro.
live with that. I don't think.
Petro, most of those people, they were killed in the media strike. When the media hit, the whole building was exploded.
Oh.
They were only kept alive due to some fluke of wild magic or something. It's not something that we could have helped.
Well, they were alive just like 5 minutes ago, though.
They weren't alive.
There were still some people that were trapped like we were.
Maybe so, but Petro, you gotta understand that the bar owner, the pianist, the lady who was playing the piano, the lady who was serving all the food, all the patrons, almost all of them, they weren't even from our time anymore. They didn't remember anything that happened. They were from back then. They weren't real anymore.
Well, what about the guy upstairs, the one that figured it out? What about him?
Well, I hope that he was in his right mind. He had his sanity. Like he wasn't hypnotized by whatever the hell was going on back there, but maybe he realized that the bubble was collapsing. Maybe he got out, but I don't know if we could have made it up there. That's a long way.
Shouldn't we check? I mean, we can't just run away.
All right, just let's be very, very careful. We're gonna go very slowly.
Okay.
If we see anything that's dangerous or moving, he points down to his like blood-soaked trench coat kind of deal, his jacket. I don't know if I can take another fight like that.
Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. I just wasn't paying
No,
attention.
how about you? How are you?
I put my hand on you and I give you 10 points of lay on hands healing.
I feel a lot better now. Yeah, so the wounds like close up and most of the blood stops flowing.
Briar, are you okay? Are you good to go back and take a peek?
I'm fine with taking a peek.
Okay. All right, very carefully, guys. We're just gonna go look and make sure that everybody's okay.
Okay.
All right.
But
So you are going to go back.
but Petro, do keep in mind, if those people didn't make it, it's not your fault.
I mean, let's just hope they made it.
For now, we'll hope.
Yeah, buddy. This city's a dangerous place, and we're gonna try to help if we can, but we're not gonna be able to help everybody.
As you turn around and walk back through the rough-hewn passage that leads you back into the Black Ivory Inn, as you peek around the corner, the room you just exited from, where the big, like, monstrous creature was, it still looks the same as as when you left it. There is still this pile of horror left on the ground that you have apparently just killed, and the room doesn't look any different at first sight. Corey, as you walk into this room, you hear an all too familiar sound. Ribbit. And from the corner, you see Norbit hopping towards you.
Norbit! Wait, I got his heart thing. Well, am I able to integrate that back into him?
If you look into your pocket, that heart is gone.
Oh.
Norbit, how'd you get here? Oh, well, here, come here. I put him back in my pocket to keep him safe.
Sure.
Oh.
Huh. Oh, see? See? At least we have one survivor. That's great. Maybe there's more.
We'll
And
see.
I start walking toward the back the underground entrance to the inn.
I'm gonna keep a real close
Sure.
eye on this creature as I walk past it. Does it move at all?
No, it looks like the pile of flesh that you killed, just like less alive than when you first met it, which I think is a good thing. As you approach the double doors that you went through first, the doors themselves definitely look different. They're still the same doors, but they're like hanging off of their hinges. And as you open the door, you will see that the room beyond is completely empty. Well, not exactly empty. It's littered with corpses.
Oh.
You'll see about 20 corpses, most of them still relatively intact, as if they have just died. You recognize quite a few of them. These are the people that you talked to in the time bubble.
Okay, so so we just need to restart the time loop, and then we can save all these people. In the meantime, I'm just gonna try to help some of them, and I go around and I try to like cast Cure Wounds on one of them.
Petro.
Sure.
Petro, these.
Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
there's a roll for that.
Oh, I was gonna say
5
before.
points of healing.
Okay. All right, so he does that.
The body that you just healed feels disinclined to all of a sudden feel better.
Okay, so definitely need to restart the time loop. How do you think we can do that?
I'm gonna.
now that
Sorry.
now
go.
that the monster is dead. How do you think we're supposed to restart the time loop? I mean, I'm sure there's got to be a way, right?
Briar's just gonna kind of reach out, just gently, just kind of like gently grab onto Petro's arm and just get him to stop. Just
Can I?
Petro, I don't think there's restarting the time loop.
I'm gonna kneel down and can I see how long these bodies have been like this? Or does it look like they've been here for a long time or just recently dead?
Good question. Give me a medicine check.
Oh, Lord.
Your
I'm
favorite.
I'm really good at medicine. My +0 and I are doing really great with a 4.
You kneel down near the corpse of what seems to be the old pirate captain that you actually talked to. You take, let's just say, 4 minutes, and after careful assessment, you deduct that he is dead.
So from his clothing and equipment and other things, do they look worn and dust covered?
Yeah, you don't have to roll for that. They do.
Okay. Yeah, picking up like his collar and looking, feeling the tattered clothing. Petro, I don't think this isn't something that just happened. This guy was dead for the entire time since the media hit.
Okay. Okay. So that makes sense. And that's too bad. It's really sad, but it's too bad. Okay, let's go check on that guy upstairs because he probably got out okay. I bet he got out okay. Let's go check on him. Let's just see.
Let me
And
exchange
then
a look
maybe
with Briar.
maybe we can take some of these people back too, and the Silver Order can help them to reanimate them and bring them back to life, and they can just live full happy lives.
Petro, there's nothing that we can do about these people.
They're
Okay.
gone, Petro.
That's really sad. Okay. I will process that emotion later. Let's go check on the guy upstairs.
As you attempt to walk through the door in front of you, you grab this door and it just like falls out of its hinges and drops to the floor. Like it's so different than what you remember. It's everything is like gone and broken. The storage room that you just walked through is all spoiled. Like the food and whatnot that is there is just dried up and gone.
I was gonna grab some goat milk, but that's okay. Looks like it's not good anymore. So we'll just go upstairs for now.
Sure. Let's grab this one. And let me just quickly move you guys inside because you're at the wrong staircase. You guys didn't see that. As you walk up, the entire building looks so vastly different. Instead of a warm, inviting room, it basically, like the map won't reflect it, but you'll have to trust me on this. The entire room looks completely destroyed and burned out. The meteor definitely hit this place, and beyond, like what was once a beautiful and nice place to have a drink, as you might have noticed, little remains but burnt out cinders and ash. There are a whole bunch of corpses around here, but the ones that are still here are completely carved down to the bone. Whatever flesh might have been on them has either been rotted off, or even worse, eaten off.
Do any corpses stand out as new or fresh or even garbed in some clothing that we recognize?
So that's the weird thing. There's only one body that you might slightly recognize, which has some rather fine but old-looking red silk around it, which you would recognize as being the clothing of Mike Conley, the owner and proprietor of the bar. Thinking back to the person of the Silver Order, there was also a wizard over here. You see nothing of their clothing, as if they just disappeared.
Petro walks over to Mike's body and kneels down.
Give me a perception check.
It's a 17.
Nice. You look at basically a bunch of bones and some silk clothing, and something that slightly glitters catches your eye. You notice that there's a key on his body.
I pick up the key, and I also pick up the red silk.
Sure.
And I put both in my pocket, and I say to the body, "I'm sorry. I was kind of mean to you. I thought you were creating the illusion, and I thought that you were trying to trap us or something. I didn't know that it wasn't your fault, and I'm sorry. And I hope that you rest well."
It seems he doesn't feel inclined to answer you at this moment.
Okay, Corey, or Brian, you're next to me. I found this key, and I hand it to her.
She's gonna go ahead and take the key. And she's gonna examine it and see if there's anything like indicating what it would open.
The head of the key is actually like filigreed a little bit, so it's a fancy key. It's made of brass. Beyond that, it's hard to discern what it's for. Size-wise, it's probably for a door or something of the same size.
We'll take a little bit of a look around and find out where this key goes to, okay?
Okay. Let's start upstairs. I want to check on the guy that knew what was going on.
Okay.
So as you take 2 steps onto the staircase, it just crumbles underneath your feet. You look up and you realize there is no upstairs anymore.
Oh, I mean, maybe he escaped out the front door. And I run over to the front door.
And while they were over there, I went out to the like patio area, and I'm looking around for any signs that anybody left this area, and if it's raining, is there any tracks in the mud leading away?
Give me a survival check.
I am so good at survival. I
The
survive
back
a lot.
you should be.
I survive a lot. Oh, I got a 14.
That was almost a 20.
It was
Yeah.
close.
There are no tracks indicating that someone has been here in recent times.
That's
As a matter of fact, the only thing that you'll see that it resembles some form of someone being here is you see some scratchings in the wooden staircase leading up to the patio.
Are there anything that could be misconstrued as tracks if one wasn't paying a lot of attention?
I would have worded it that way. No.
Well, I mean, like anything that I could. Corey's gonna try to deceive Petro to make him feel better and say, "Look there, you see all those tracks?" But is there anything that looks like I could do that?
I mean, it's a city that hasn't really been walked through in 15 years, but has been blown up by a meteor. There's enough debris and whatnot that you could say, like, yeah, behind those rocks, sure.
Okay. When Petro comes out, you see that over there, Petro? You see that trail of rubble? You see those pieces that look like they were moved out of the way? I'm betting they got out. I'm betting they all ran. They're already.
Maybe.
Yeah, Petro.
I guess that makes sense.
Do you remember his name?
Oh yeah, of course I do. But Jed doesn't. I don't remember his name.
Oh, jeez. It was
Like 2 weeks ago. Give me a break.
It was Aaron K. Lightfoot. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, would you require, like, because it has been 2 weeks, and, like, you know, I'm not that kind of DM. Like, do you need like a little like elbow reminder because you shoot?
Please.
No. Yeah,
Please.
Balthazar.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You remember his name?
Oh yeah, Balti.
Yeah. Well, he's probably already heading back to his own whatever the hell they were, like cult or something.
Okay.
So-
Well,
I'm betting we can find him next time we go. You know, we hear about them. He was talking about Lucretia something.
well, it's too bad that everybody else didn't make it, but at least he made it out.
Yeah, there you go. So all the other people, the people who were here from before the media, they definitely they weren't even. They were probably just illusions, kept alive by whatever spell was keeping that piano player alive. But
I don't think they were illusions. They were real, I think.
They
I don't
were
know.
they were people once, Petro.
they were people
Yeah.
who
From
were
a
going
different
to
time.
die. 15 years ago, Petro. Were you here 15 years ago?
Yeah.
In
It
this
was.
bar?
No, not this bar, but I remember
There's
the meteor.
there's no way that you could have done anything about this. This was something that happened, and bad things happen in the world, and we're gonna try to do things that
Okay.
you're gonna try to do things to help people, but you're not always gonna be able to do it. You're not there sometimes.
Yeah. No, okay. Yeah, let's just okay, let's
Ooh.
okay. Yeah, let's go help other people. You know,
Yeah.
maybe this is maybe there was nothing we could do, but maybe we can go help other people.
Sure, Petro.
I want to say, like, at the instance where Corey's mentioning, like, you couldn't have known or you weren't there at the time when it happened, that kind of hits her pretty hard. And she's just gonna silently just look around the bar a little bit.
But now that Petro seems consoled, how you holding up, Brian?
It's, I'll be fine. It's the way of the world right now.
You couldn't change?
Yeah. Something I wish I did.
Right. And we all got our pasts, we all got things that we done that we don't like. So but I don't know how Petro's gonna be holding up, so I'm gonna need help with him, okay?
I'll do my best.
We're gonna have to stay
Oh.
strong for him because I think he's taking it a little bit hard.
I know he is.
No.
I was in his shoes once. So I know.
Right. Maybe you can tell me about it next time we're out of danger.
Another time, yeah.
We gotta stick around, stick together for each other, right? You can pat her on the side of the arm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, holding up, Petro.
Petra kind of wipes his tears, looks down at you, and he's like, I just need to be stronger, and I can be stronger.
Petro, you are strong. You saved me from that thing down there.
That's true. I'm glad to have you as my friend.
Yeah. But I don't know how Brian's taking this right now, okay? We're gonna have to be strong for her, okay?
Yep. I will be strong for her.
Thank you.
And for you.
Thank you, Petro. I appreciate you. Let's go help each other.
And Petro takes the red silk and ties it around his wrist.
Oh wow. That's touching.
Oh.
You know what? Heck, you're gonna get inspiration for that. That is really touching.
All right, guys. Now, I know we didn't expect what happened here, but we still got a job to do. Let's go see if we can get through that tunnel. If we can get back, maybe we can use this to, I don't know, help more people in the future. You never know.
Okay. All right, let's go.
So you decide to go back down and into the tunnel?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Uh,
I'll save you.
No, how's
I mean,
Briar doing?
She was gonna take a little bit of time to see if she could find
Okay.
What that key went to.
Okay, yeah.
Sure. So, so around here, if there was a door that this might fit into, most of the doors and basically everything around here has been completely blown to bits. So there's little chance that you're going to find anything here that the key might fit into. Around the bar area, for certain, there is nothing that a key would fit in.
Okay.
You want to check the back and see if it went to any of his rooms back there?
I'll take a look.
As a matter of fact, Briar, like while they were talking, did you take like a couple of minutes to inspect the bar area?
Yes. That.
Give me an investigation check. Like, why
Okay.
not? You did spend some time.
Okay. My investigation is somewhat okay. Damn.
I'll be the judge of that, said the dice. So that's an
Could've
8.
been worse.
Looking behind the bar for anything that the key might fit into, all of a sudden you notice behind or below a pile of like rocks and whatnot, fallen debris, the butt of a bottle of dragon fire, which is a very good drink. Excited as you might be, you lift the bottle from the rubble, only to notice that the cork has unfortunately not been on there, and the bottle is dry as a bone.
Oh. But if it's a fully intact bottle, it might go for something.
Sure. Like, okay. You can take it with you.
Just gonna take it with her.
Sure.
Sure. Like, didn't know we were going to turn into an episode of Thirsty Shoppers.
Hoarders unite!
It's like a Skyrim when you're just picking up everything and putting it in
Yeah.
your inventory.
This fork will probably be
Oh, I
useful
thought
one
you
day.
Use for
dumbed
later.
down. I can't let go of that.
This pewter fork has 0 value, but it's only 0.1 pounds. Keeping it.
Yeah.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. All right, with that, she's gonna move into the back rooms.
Like, you realize that's going to be going through my mind every single time you're going to pick up a piece of delirium from here on out, right?
Ooh, piece of delirium.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of delirium.
So the back room, the ex kitchen, there is a little more standing than maybe. I'd imagine that the table survived the impact. Beyond that, like, this place is completely gone. Whatever supplies they already had here are gone. Like, quite possibly even stolen in the last 15 years.
Thieves. Bandits. Treasure hunters.
Cave dwellers. Anyways. She's gonna go ahead and keep looking. Take a peek in the old office.
Sure. The desk of the office will most probably still be standing. There is nothing there that would fit a key. The ledger that was once here, there's probably still like bits and pieces here, but basically that thing is being rotted away due to 15 years of constant rain pitter-pattering on it.
Now that I think about it, the ledger that we also picked up in that time, that's already gone from our inventory, isn't it?
Do you look for it?
She's gonna pat around her pockets for a second.
Yeah, they feel surprisingly empty.
Oh, well, at least her gold returned when she bought the drink. All right, she's gonna take a
really
peek around
nice.
in this hallway.
Sure. So the hallway over here used to lead to the outside patio and had a couple of bathrooms connected to it. If you look in them, again, one of the tubs survived. It is completely empty, save for some debris that fell in it.
Still nothing that would fit a key into it.
Doesn't seem like it, no.
Okay. All right, she's gonna go back into the tavern portion.
So, over by the what's over on the stage?
So where the stage once was is a giant gaping hole. You notice that something like hit this bar right there and just punctured through the stage, through the floor. And if you look into this hole, you can actually see the impact crater below. And inside that impact crater, you see a very big fleshy creature. Dead, of course, but you will recognize what that is. You've just been there, after all.
So, Briar, coming up, you'll see Corey sort of stand there, etching something in his hand with a screwdriver and a few of his little shock gauntlet things, and you hear some discordant music, like a few tones, like it sounds almost like piano-ish tones, but more like ting ting, like almost metal tinging. And I'm gonna essentially use my magical tinkering to create a tiny little music box that for 6 seconds it plays a little looped piano sound, very very small and not very loud, but just kind of what he remembers from when he walked in the first time. It just plays it over and over. I can't actually replicate the sounds of the piano myself.
I mean, I can play the piano
If
track again if you want to.
could, just for a few seconds.
Yeah, sure.
And it just sort of like hits an end and then restarts every 6 seconds.
Oh.
Good job. And he's gonna put that by the edge of the hole, and it's not gonna last forever. It's only gonna last for a day, maybe, but just a brief glimpse at what once was.
That's
All right.
very touching.
You have no idea how annoying this is, but
Oh, no, that's all. That's all. We're good. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. I think you guys want to head out.
One moment. She's gonna step near the stage where Corey was kind of carving into the wood, and she gets down on one knee and she just kind of places her hand over her heart and just kind of bows her head slightly and closes her eyes and just kind of taking a moment and just saying, in the time that we spent in your time loop, you were a lovely, lovely piano player in all of Drakkenheim. And with that, she's gonna stand up and just walk back with the group.
you said that like near the hole, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, okay.
Good or bad?
See, now that is a good question.
Neutral.
I'm scared.
10, not bad.
Okay. As you say this, basically staring off into the distance, I imagine you would. You still see this like pile of flesh down there that apparently she morphed into through the power of the wish, contaminated by eldritch energies coming off of whatever hit her. Probably like a piece of the meteor that broke off as it crashed into the city. As you like stare off into the distance, saying this, beyond this pile of flesh, you also notice that there is something glistering down there. You can't really make out what it is, though.
There's something glimmering down there.
Probably delirium.
Was it like, oh, wait, where is it? Point it out.
It's she's gonna kind of point out where she sees it.
All right. Well, maybe we can get a closer look while we're down there. That thing's dead, right? Hey, Petro, can you tell if monstrosities and other evil abominations are like, can you like touch them and they're like vibrate or something?
I don't think that's how it works, but I can look.
All right, you do that. Let's also, I want to make a pit stop at the leprechaun.
This is the same. To be clear, like this is the same monstrosity that we just killed, and that
100%, yes.
down there.
I don't want to touch it. You can touch it though.
Oh, I don't think I want to touch it either.
No, you already
That's fair.
had an instance.
But we can go down and take a closer look.
Yeah, I think we're gonna head. So first, well, you were saying something about a key?
Yeah, there was a key I found off the body.
Oh wait, no, this door just leads up outside. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any lock boxes in this room?
They're not.
Keep an eye out for. I'm looking for two things. Looking for two things: lock boxes, but also leprechaun corpses.
What about over here?
That door seems to be locked.
Oh.
I'm gonna go try that key real
Briar,
quick.
Alright,
can you try your key?
No worries. I'm gonna look at a leprechaun.
Sure.
The door opens.
Oh.
I found it.
I wonder why Mike had that key. I guess because he was the owner. but I wonder why it was locked. And I walk over here to take a peek.
If you look up, you basically see the outside sky. This is apparently a set of stairs that would lead into the outside of the building.
Got it. Well, I guess we unlocked a door, so that's good.
Where's the leprechaun?
Should we relock it?
I don't think there's a point to relocking it.
Well, I mean the tunnel, right? We're supposed to find the tunnel. People don't have access to it. Maybe we can lock this door.
I'll try locking the door.
The one that you're standing at right now, you can.
Mhm. Oh,
So we can or can't?
You can. It's locked.
Oh.
oh, it's the master key.
Nice. You come up to Corey and he's sort of not singing to himself, but he's talking to himself. Mr. Big, you were so intimidating, and now look at you now. And he's like rifling through his pockets.
No respect for the dead whatsoever.
Typical Corey.
Yeah. Give me a investigation check.
I mean, oh no, investigation. I wish it weren't so. 19.
Alrighty. So it seems that while the corpses upstairs have been picked clean and quite possibly eaten, as I said, the corpses down here have been largely left untouched, and they haven't withered because of the power of the meteor. Bodies don't generally decay in Drakkenheim. But nobody apparently has seen any reason to come down here, thus the bodies are still here. If you go through the pockets of the late Mr. Big, you will actually find some coins. There is a small pouch. And looking into that pouch, you find a total of 15 gold that he still had on him. Beyond that, he had 2 gemstones on him. They're normal gemstones, but those could still be worth a pretty penny. They seem to be opals.
Ooh. Think I can yeah, I think I can use one of these. Thank you, Mr. Big. Thanks for your contribution to the Corey Flinscare Import Export Company. Emporium. Whatever the hell I'm calling it nowadays.
Is that portrait of the royal, one of the royal family members still intact, or is it still?
Good question. The portrait is still there. The painting itself has withered, and it's technically still a painting, but not a particularly good one.
She's just gonna kind of glance at the portrait one more time. She's gonna. Nah.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh,
Does that flip to 18 or 5? Oh, it flipped to 5.
that's a 5.
Oh. It's hard to make out who this is in its current state. The only thing you'll notice on this portrait that is still like roughly that you're still roughly able to see in the contours of the paint is that supposedly this person seems to have red hair. You lived you didn't live in Drakkenheim, right? But like in the vicinity of.
Yes.
Give me a history check with disadvantage.
Oh, dang it. Okay, oh, that is almost the wrong button. There we go.
Not bad. That is a 12. With that 12, yeah, you actually take it in for a second. You realize, you remember that they said, like, this was a portrait supposedly stolen from a castle or something, a royal person. And you add 2 and 2 together, like person with red hair and royal person. And even though you can't see it anymore on the painting as it's withered, you realize that you might know who this is or was on this painting. Because there's really only one royal family member with red hair. This is a portrait of Queen Lenore, the current, hopefully still current, Queen of Drakkenheim. In the last 15 years, no reports have been made on the death of Queen Lenore. a lot of people still hold hope that she has been barricaded in the castle of the city, Castle Draken, since no one has seen her come out, and she was supposedly there when the meteor impacted. She was an interesting queen, but loved by the people. Very eccentric, and her red hair supposedly was painted rather than natural, but it was one of the things that she was known for.
Interesting. She almost kind of wants to take the portrait, but she kind of doesn't think anything would come out of taking the portrait.
It's this is one of those portraits that you hang above a grand fireplace. Like, this does not fit in your pocket.
Yeah.
Or he holds up the bag of holding. You want to take the portrait?
You'll have to break it if you want to fit it in there.
Yeah.
I think it's got a 3 foot wide entry, so it's not big enough for a.
Well, can she not break the frame, or is it just?
And then roll it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's an option.
So Corey flips up a dagger and he's like, I mean, you want to steal some art? I can get behind that.
Oh, just make sure you take it off from the back. Don't just cut it from the front. That's the better way to do it.
How do you know that, Petro?
When were you an art thief?
No, I used to help the family with some of the framing sometimes. It was just kind of one of those odd jobs that I would do now and then.
You guys cut paintings out of frames?
No, we did the opposite. We put them in the frames.
Don't you live in a forest?
Oh, yeah, but I was friends with some people in Drakkenheim back in the day.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's,
She's gonna go ahead and do what Petro
Painting.
suggested and cut out the portrait to roll it up.
Sure. You got all the time in the world to do that, so I'm not going to make you roll like whether or not you do a
Okay.
good job. Like, you'll be fine.
Okay.
yeah, just don't draw a mustache on it. That devalues the painting like crazy.
We're not selling it, Corey. I just kind of want to keep it.
Oh, just carrying it? Nah, fine.
Thank you.
Would that be a little rude if you did that?
Yeah, but it's also really funny.
Well, I guess that's true.
It's only funny if it's against a tyrant.
They're all
That's
tyrants.
That's true. That would be even funnier.
I used to do that with my father's portraits.
You think we can find a portrait of the Archmage? That'd be funny. Oh, yeah, this place.
So looking at this monstrosity, does it
Yes.
does it still look fleshy? Does it look like it recently died?
Yeah, it's gosh, what does this look like without making it too icky? Freshly made ground meat, just a whole lot of it.
Ew.
Let's say
Yeah.
a deflated parade float made of ground beef.
Oh,
Oh, that's
God,
worse.
yes,
Oh,
that's worse. But yes.
Wow.
Ew.
All right, so it's not moving. All right, whereabouts was that glimmer you said you saw?
Was it in the flesh, or was it like kind of around the flesh?
It was basically in the crater, which the flesh is now basically sort of like in. So it's in that crater there.
It was around here. She's gonna point out where the pile of flesh is in the crater.
I'm gonna get as close as I can without actually touching it and try to look in.
Sure. So as you do, you will notice that, yeah, there is indeed some delirium in there, it seems. For what you can tell, these are not the smallest chips. They actually look rather sizable.
All right, so here's the plan. Here's a stick. I hand a stick to each one of them. All right, you guys push it a little bit, make a gap. All right, Norbit, you know what to
okay.
do. I send Norbit down to grab them one at a time.
Rabbit. Sure. They remember, like, when you were out in the streets and you found some delirium, you found a couple of like those very tiny chips, and you found one that was like, like sizable, like about like 5 or 6 times one of those chips.
Mhm.
They seem to be that size, and there is a total of 1 second. There's a total of 2 of them there.
So these be delirium fragments?
Correct.
Awesome. Gonna add them to the stash. These could go for some very interesting things. You know what? You want to save people, Petro? I can save a lot of people with these things. And put some of
Really?
this- Oh yeah.
Because I feel like if delirium can cause all this destruction, then I mean maybe the Silver Order has a point. Maybe we really should get rid of all of it.
I mean, sure, sometimes if something gets out of control, you definitely gotta, suppress it. If fire gets out of control, you gotta stop it. But, and he starts backing away from the thing. But
As you do, you notice that there is something else in that crater, though.
and he's sort of
There-
like absentmindedly talking. Go ahead.
So you notice that there is also quite a big chunk of iron down there that has a purple glimmer over it. It seems like that's a chunk of meteoric iron.
Ooh.
Wonder if I could talk the blacksmith into making some rods out of this. I can make some really cool things out of. What do you think the properties of meteoric iron are?
Let me guess. Can I make some sort of a check to see if I know anything? I'm assuming with disadvantage.
Roll blacksmith. That's gosh. What do you roll for that? That is a. Give me an insight check.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Flat?
Yeah, sure.
It's an 8.
It's metal. Blacksmith can probably make something out of it.
Oh, I think you can make like a chest plate or like a sword, or you could make, you could probably make like a pot that boils water really fast.
I don't know if I
How
would
heavy does
trust
it look?
It's not the biggest chunk. It's sizable. It would like shape wise, it would fit into the bag of holding. Since it's iron, you'd assess that would weigh probably around anywhere between like 30 and 50 pounds.
Okay, I think Norbert can only lift like 20 to 40 pounds, I think, so.
Yeah.
All right. About how deep does it look in the crater?
Oh, it's not that deep. Like it's a shallow hole. Like this is probably the part that broke off of the meteor, probably. That lodged itself into Miss Charlotte and then subsequently broke through the stage upstairs and hit down here. So there's an impact. Like that's what a crater is for, but it's not like a mile deep. This is
Right.
We're talking inches and feet.
Petro reaches in and grabs it while he's like still listing things off. He's like, you could make like a really fancy fork, or maybe even like a plate.
I love this.
I had this whole like Mission Impossible, like, okay, so Norbert's gonna lift up this thing. They're gonna lift up this thing. I'm gonna crawl down there. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's actually not that heavy.
All right. Hey, I'm glad you're on board with this, Petro. We can make a really fancy fork. I like it.
And he kind of stares at it and he sees the purple glow and he's like, "Ooh, it's really pretty."
Yeah.
you might wanna
So
touch that.
the on the iron itself, it's not really like a glow. It's like the you ever seen an oil spill on the like on the road where it has like
Yes.
sort of like that
It's
purplish
iridescent.
greenish kind of. That's exactly it. That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for. It actually has that in the iron. Yeah.
Cool. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
be
If you
careful
look
about
at it from
touching
this
that.
angle,
Oh,
it's a
Petro,
little bit yellow, and then this angle, it's a little bit red or green.
you might
Wow.
want to
Yeah.
put that in your bag, Petro. You don't want to touch that with your hands, I don't think.
Oh, okay. And he just drops it as you say that onto the ground, and then he searches around in his bag to find like a cloth to wrap it in, and then he
Um,
puts it back into his bag after that. Oh, thanks for telling me, Corey.
Yeah, no worries, Petro. Just be careful with it.
Oh, I thought delirium you're not supposed to touch. I didn't know this stuff was the same way.
You never know, you know. You never know, you know.
Okay, so
I'll leave it
anyway,
at that.
where do you think this tunnel leads?
Hopefully inside the city.
So before we cover that, I just did the quickest 3-minute Photoshop because I was like, oh yeah, shit, painting, and I kind of want to show you guys, but I don't have
Oh,
an
no.
image. So I did the quickest Photoshop that I had off of
Love
an
it.
image that I do have.
Oh.
This is what the painting looks like.
Okay.
Oh,
This-
wait,
Just
that's the whole thing?
That is the whole thing.
So it's one person.
It's one person.
Okay.
It is
and
a portrait.
Their faces.
Obscured.
Like it's basically just melted through like time, weather. Like it's like it's mildewy down here, so
Got it.
That'll
it got
buff
to the
right out. That'll buff right
Mhm.
out.
Got it.
paint. Yeah, this is beyond the magic of like a mending spell or whatever. Like this is bad.
So it's a portrait of a
Um,
redheaded woman, but we can't see her face because that part has faded away. For everyone
Yeah.
that's listening.
Listen,
Who's
I know
the queen?
a guy with a magic
is-
crayon. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. This is Queen Lenore. So those of you that know Queen Lenore, which if you've lived in Drakkenheim or have in any shape or form had a connection to the royal family, you must have probably seen Queen Lenore. She was not like a party queen, but she was popular and she was out there and she knew she was popular and she used it.
How old was she when
so-
the meteor hit?
I'd have to look up the exact age, but she wasn't all too old. I
Decade.
believe she was in her, like early 30s.
Okay.
Yep. I'll look it up just to be sure, but I believe she was like early 30s.
Okay. Well, there's pros and cons. I guess this mission was a little bit of a bust. But at least we found the tunnel.
Yeah.
All right. So as you move through this tunnel, as I said, it is dark in this tunnel. There's no torches, and even if there were, apparently after 15 years, those do go out. It seems to be, especially for those of you that have dark vision, it seems to travel on forever. This is going to be quite a walk. The one thing you're noticing is a very faint smell of mildew and like the smell of like just a damp area. That is what's hitting you. Do you wish to continue?
One of the little flashlights, I give it to Petro so he can. Oh wait, no, he has his own little flashlight.
Yeah, she's letting him borrow Norman.
Oh yeah.
The globe.
My little globe.
Yeah, we continue.
Alrighty. It'll take you about half an hour to an hour's worth of walking. This is a very, very long tunnel, but it goes in a relatively straight way, and beyond not having any torches, it doesn't seem to have been impacted by the meteor. It's mostly been impacted by the fact that no one has used this over the last 15 years, you would assess, by the fact that there's mushrooms growing here and it's just dampy and icky. But it's intact. It hasn't collapsed. And luckily for you guys, there's no monsters in this hall, it seems. After about an hour worth of traveling, you're noticing that the hallway itself suddenly changes a little bit. It goes from rough-hewn stone underneath the ground to something a little bit more paved, something that someone put down intentionally. You're noticing a very subtle decline and then a straight ahead road made of cobblestone. As you walk over that road, the air changes as well. It gets a little bit more damp, and you're starting to smell an additional smell other than this mildewy kind of fragrance that's in the air. You're starting to smell the smell of sewage.
Oh.
Smell of what now?
Sewage.
Oh.
We're in the sewers.
Oh boy.
Ugh.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh wait, that's copyrighted.
Banana. There we go. We balanced it out.
And demonetized. Dang it.
Oh no!
There you go. The small hallway that you end up in right now seems to go on in a straight road, as I said. And you're noticing at the end of it that there is a small circular staircase that seems to go down.
Oh, and then if you wanted to use the metal, you could probably also make like a hat, like a really fancy hat. Oh guys, look, there's a staircase.
Corey's actually writing notes. Everything you're saying is like that. You know what? If I applied this kind of charge, and this could be an excellent trap. If I put this on somebody, I could completely control their body.
Oh, and also I should mention that I'm kind of guessing. I don't actually know, but this is all speculation that probably would work. Yeah.
Yeah, your metallurgical speculation is very warranted. I appreciate it.
Um, guys, why does the staircase go down? I would think that if you had a tunnel, then you would go back up to get to the land. I don't know why this one goes down.
Oh, there's no way to find out but going.
Oh, okay, okay. It doesn't smell great, but
It doesn't indeed. And as you approach the circular staircase, you're suddenly hit by a sound. Not too far away, you hear as something rather large seems to hit a body of water.
Oh, judging by the smell and the sound of water, I deduce that we are near the sewers. All right,
okay,
Petro,
well,
you drew the short straw. Go ahead.
he holds a cloth up as he heads down.
The one that was tied around your
wrist.
wrist.
From the no, not a different one. A different one. That'd be rude.
Sorry, Mike.
Corey actually, as you guys are walking forward, he's fiddling with something, and he has this what looks to be two small cyclical fans around a rigid leather mask, and he puts it over his mouth, and it creates the smell of pure air, like almost
Wow.
meadows.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That smell doesn't bother me that much.
Corey,
She's
of
just
all the
gonna
things you've marketed and sold in Drakkenheim, that would be like that actually could make you money. Like, why
That's
not
true.
sell that?
The problem is, he's only found out how to make it. And you can only make two of them. They only last for a day. And so he's had so many angry customers come back and man refunds that he's already stopped trying for that. He made some gold, and every time lifetime warranty is lifetime of the object, not you. So it's
Oh, you could change it to a rental service.
Petro, you're a genius.
Oh.
you
It was
gave him
really stinky,
ideas.
so
All right, we got to get back to the Emberwood village quick. I got plans.
Oh boy.
All right. So, Petro, you're the first one to enter this area. What you see in front of you is actually a bit of an architectural marvel, not because of its complexity, because it's actually rather simple, but this is one of those things that you don't see anywhere else but in a rather large city. As you look in front of you, as you walk through this very small hallway into a rather large room, you see a round circular body of water. It seems to be relatively deep, and there is a stone walkway basically all around it. Looking up, you notice that there's daylight coming through a circular hole in the ceiling, which is quite a ways up. This is quite deep below. I'm not sure if you know what this is, so roll me a history check.
history. That's gonna be a 12.
Sure. Yeah. You actually, you kind of know what this is. Maybe you wouldn't know the name. I'm still going to call it. This is called a cistern. It is part of the sewer system. This is usually used to collect rainwater or anything else kind of fluids that would come down before draining it out into the rest of the sewers. This would be one of those areas where, a cistern is in the city. Important part of the sewer network. The one in front of you has apparently seen better days, because beyond the fact that it's been neglected for 15 years in terms of repair, you notice that it's not just water that is down here. The water in front of you is filthy. It is littered with corpses. At a quick glance, there must be at least 30 to 50 corpses floating in this water. This is probably why it's so smelly in here.
Oh. I thought it was smelly because of poo.
I'm sorry, Petro.
Oh, that's okay. This is a rough day, man. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Do any of these guys look like they got good gear on?
Oh my god.
You know what? Yeah, there is. DM 101: never pass up an opportunity if your player presents it. Uh, yeah, no. There is it's a an interesting bouquet of bodies that's in this water. Between the 30 or so corpses of varying stages of decomposition. There's a couple that are wearing armor. There's a couple that look pretty much just like civilians. A couple of them kind of look like bandits. I think here and there you might recognize some of them as looking like they might have been part of the gang of the Queensmen. There's one or two that are wearing longish gray robes. So there's a bit of everything here. But if you're looking specifically for armor, it's all waterlogged right now. But yeah, there seems to be some stuff there.
Anyone dressed in purple?
Ooh. Sure. There is a singular person with a long purple robe that is floating face down in the water, who's either doing a breathing contest or he lost it.
All right, so go ahead, Petrol.
No, that's me laughing. That's right.
So it'd be really nice of us if we would do good as to bring back some people, the things that they lost. If they lost a friend, we should definitely bring them back a memento for them to we could also probably use some of the stuff. Let's just get some stuff, okay? Huh?
I'm gonna go ahead and roll an insight check for Petro.
Sure.
It's a 10. What are we gonna get exactly?
So that guy over there, pointing to the purple road guy, probably has some very interesting mechanical stuff on him that we could either I could learn from, or B, could possibly be selling, or C, that lady in the inn at the Golden Lion estate, she's part of that group. She probably wants to know that a friend of hers was here. We can't go back empty-handed, right?
Oh, you want to loot the bodies.
I do want to loot the bodies. That's besides the point. I want to loot that one specifically, okay?
I don't really want to carry a corpse back to Emberwood Village.
We're not going to carry a corpse back to Emberwood Village. Just his stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and I promise you, I will not loot any paladins or anyone who looks noble. This guy's a wizard, right? Come on.
Corey, I'm not going to stop you, but I also can't help.
No worries. Norbit! And I pull out my rope and I hand it the other end to him, and I have him fly out and tie it to the leg.
Sure. Here we go. So, two things. As you are preparing that, as you're tying off the rope to Norbit, the light in this room, which is basically daylight, because you have a direct connection to the outside world, the light suddenly diminishes a little bit, and before you know it, as you potentially look up to see why the light dimmed a little bit, you just hear the whoosh of something falling down, and in front of you, another body hits the water. As the water settles and this body sort of like floats to the top again, it seems like another corpse has been added to this pile. The body itself looks like pretty much like a commoner. There is a bandolin strapped to its back. He has a green cloak. And a very distinguishable puncture wound, a couple actually, that are protruding through his back. This person has been killed rather harshly.
Recently?
It's hard to tell whether or not they're dead recently, but they are very dead for sure.
Okay. Oh,
You might want to be quiet.
I think there's somebody up there shooting and stabbing people and then throwing them in here. That's kind of scary.
I think this might just be a body dump.
Yeah.
Hi.
Now remember, there's some unseemly sorts that we've been seeing around. I don't think I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know they're not the nicest people. In fact, they're probably bullies and thugs. But this, I don't think the Queensmen are murderers, or at least not this much. I mean, this is a lot.
Well, who do you think it is then?
I don't know, but this is a lot. I mean, am I right in presuming that over there, that guy's in head to toe in armor, and that one with a bow? I mean, they look like a hooded lantern. Like whoever it is, something's. These guys, there must be an army or something.
Yeah, this is pretty much if you look at like if all of the 5 factions basically are represented in such a macabre way, I might add. Yeah, there is a bit of everyone here. It seems.
Okay, Corey. I said I wasn't going to help you, but I'm going to help you so that we can learn more. Let's get that guy that just went in.
Let's do it. Okay, Norbert. All right, a new plan. We're gonna get the academy guy afterwards. Let's go get this guy, and be quiet.
So the one
Norbert.
in the mid. So that one is quite literally in the middle of the water. How are you going to do this?
So how long? How far away? Because I'm giving him a length of 50-foot rope, and I'm gonna have him tie it around the ankle.
Oh yeah, you can do this. So Norbert is, and you said like he flies over. Like is he literally flying or just swimming?
He's flying.
Can Norbert fly?
Yeah. The constructs can fly. Artificer.
Oh, of course. Yeah, he's his artifice construct. Yeah, they can.
So he can fly. He's tiny,
Fair.
so he can only hold 30 pounds. So he can't like actually like haul it in, but he's just tying the rope. All right, here you go, Petro.
Okay, I'll take the other end. And then once
Can-
it's
can-
hooked
can-
on, once it's
can I
hooked
just
on,
mentally
start pushing
flavor-
him back.
Can I just mentally flavor this? Because Norbert looks like a frog, right? Like a machined frog, basically, like a little robotic frog. Can we just flavor this like it does, like the ladybug thing, where his back all of a sudden like opens into like.
Ooh.
So in my mind,
eject where he flies.
whenever he flew, he kind of had like a tadpole look to him, like he was swimming through the air, and then he turned back into a frog. But he does still need to carry things, so I actually think that works better.
I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Ladybug frog. Yes, that's
Yeah.
sure. So he flies over, and so Norbert is going to try and tie a rope off around an extremity of this corpse. Through Norbert's stats, roll me a dexterity check to see if he can.
Okay.
Like I know he's
Dexterity
smart
check.
enough, but if he's going to be able to.
No worries, and that is not a dexterity saving throw, but a dexterity check, right?
Just to check. Yeah.
Right. So he has a +2. I don't have his stat page, so I'm just gonna roll a regular D20 with a plus.
Also, what
2.
you can do is if you double click his token, you're going to roll through his stat block.
Oh.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Let's oh, not proficiency. Let's go click. Oh, stop proficientizing him. Ability check. There we go. Normal.
15.
Ooh.
Yeah. Norbert's done this. Like Norbert was in the Boy Scouts when he was young, and
He's seen me tie.
yeah,
In
he
fact,
perfectly ties it up.
So he's normally the one who puts up my hammock whenever we go anywhere.
Yeah, apparently.
All right. Here you go,
Petra looks over at Norbert and he's like, "All right, is it secure?"
Ribbit.
All right. And then he starts pulling the rope in.
Rope secure, Petro.
Oh, that's a new voice. Yeah, through my speech of Beast and Leaf, that's like what he hears.
Can we just have that one more time, please?
Rope secure, Petro.
Oh, okay, buddy.
All right. So the body floats towards you by the one of its boots that is, the rope is tied around. When it gets to about here, all of a sudden it sort of stops, and you're noticing that there's a bit of tension, like the body caught on something. What do you do?
Okay, I'm just gonna go over here, guys, and I'm gonna pull from this side.
Sure.
And I try pulling it from a
Um,
different angle.
the body kind of like is still stuck on something, and all of a sudden it like pops loose, as if like it was caught on something, but you can like, pull it with you again.
And then how far down is the water from where I'm standing? Like,
It's
vertical?
hard to tell because the water's really murky, but if you would have to assess also by the fact that the body like that landed in this and basically went down for a little while before it came up again. Yeah, this is deep-ish. Like we're talking maybe 10 feet or more.
Okay. Okay. And then once he's below me, I start actually pulling him upward.
Sure. Oh, you mean like the water level in contrast to like the walkway?
Yes.
Oh, that's like almost level.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Gotcha.
So as the body gets closer and closer, you're noticing that it's leaving a bit of a trail of blood through the water.
Oh. Okay, Corey, how do you want to deal with the body once it's on once it gets to the edge? Because I don't really want to touch it.
Oh, it's okay. Here, we're just gonna lay him on the edge. We're gonna fold his hands up so he's not in the water. And
Do you have any gloves or anything? I don't think this is healthy.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely don't want to be touching. I mean, it doesn't look like it was rotting or anything. Let me take a look at it, and he's gonna start looking through. He's gonna pull him up onto the side so he's no longer like floating. And if I can, rifle through pockets and just try to get. I'm looking for identifying information or anything that can tell me where this person came from.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's basically what Petra was trying to figure out as well. It's just like what happened to this guy.
Dirty 20.
Sure.
Nice.
Petra, if you want, you can roll as well. So I'll see what you see and what
That's
Corey
perception?
sees. Perception, yes.
7.
You notice it's a corpse. What you
Definitely
do
a corpse.
notice, which what Corey is something that Corey will notice.
I'm gonna
as
share
well, is of course. So you'll both notice that this corpse is missing an arm. The difference between you, Petro, and you, Corey, though, is Corey, you realize with your dirty 20 that when this corpse hit the water and floated up again, it still had all of its extremities. It still had all of its arms and legs. Right now, it's missing an arm. That must have been what was caught earlier on. So apparently, you ripped the arm off. You would say.
You weren't pulling that hard.
You
what
weren't.
do you mean?
No.
Does it look like it was ripped from the socket?
No, it's like ripped like halfway. Like the shoulder's still in there, and like just a little below, it's ripped.
Like exposed flesh then.
Yeah, and that's the reason why like the blood trail was made into water apparently.
Wow, they tore his arm off. Those savages up there.
I'm gonna. Yeah, Petro, I'm pretty sure he hit the water with the arm intact.
Oh,
Take a step back from the water. Let the water settle for a second. I'm gonna look and see if there's any new ripples in the water. Briar, be careful of the water's edge. Does the water look like it's moving from anything? Because we're not touching the water right now. After it settles for a moment or two, I want to see if there's any shifting in it.
So there's a lot of bodies in here which will like they're still floating around that will give like a subtle ripple. But if you're for what you're looking right now, give me one more perception check.
I got a 4.
Nah. There's nothing in
it's
there,
fine.
buddy.
I'm sure it's fine.
All right. Well, yeah. Maybe it just got caught on like a. There's probably like a bunch of swords and other things in there. Probably got caught and something happened. Anyway,
So
let's
with your
see
dirty 20,
Mhm.
because you were also trying to see like any identifying remarks on this body, right?
right.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
So
anything that indicated where he came from, faction, like just identifying.
Sure. So you don't have to roll a separate medicine check because it's very clear that this creature most probably died to multiple stab wounds. As a matter of fact, as you look at him, it seems to be an elf. Looking at him, he has multiple puncture wounds, which are rather sizable, like about the size of your fist or your paw in your case. And there's like 5 or 6 of them in his chest that protrude all the way through to his back. Like someone savaged this person, and that is a good enough reason as any to to die. So your assessment quickly would be that probably killed him. He's missing an arm right now. Looking at his clothing, there's a cape. There is some light-fitting a shirt. There is some pants underneath and some boots. By all accounts, this kind of looks like one of you guys. So not necessarily related to one of the factions. Probably just a scavenger or an adventurer.
So this is what happens when you can't handle yourself in a dangerous situation. I recommend that we don't find whatever this guy found.
Oh, I think that's probably a good idea. Well, I'm sorry I ripped your arm off, buddy, but it looks like you were already dead, so I guess it's okay. You weren't really needing it.
So the body is still in the water, right? Like now that it's closed, you still left it in the water. You're just looking at it in the water. That was what you were doing, right?
I had picked it up. Oh, I was envisioning that I had laid it out on the stone on the
Drunkrat said he. Sorry, Corey said that he.
Yeah. So, and when you said that, when Petros was saying like it looks like he already died already, I just envisioned him like just shoving him back into the. I know he wouldn't do that, but I was like, it looks like you were already dead anyway. See ya.
But yeah, Petro earlier refused to touch him once he got to the edge. So Corey actually is the one that brought him onto land.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
So as you're done examining this creature, it slides off of the side walkway and dips back into the water.
Petro kind of like pushes his eyelids down as he gets into the water.
It's weird though. This body was put out on the side of the water, and it doesn't run diagonally towards the water.
What do you mean?
So if you put something on like a stone walkway next to the water, it shouldn't if it's dead, it shouldn't by itself just slip back into the water.
Something pulled it back in.
Like this.
And as you notice that, all of a sudden the water does start to move in front of you.
Ah, crap.
With a huge splash, a giant, strange-looking creature bops up from the water and hisses angrily at you and clacks both of his claws at the 3 of you. Let's roll for initiative.
17 for me.
All right. I've got a 6.
I had a 13.
So do I. I also have a 6.
Oh God.
How much did you have, Corey? Because it didn't show up in the tracker.
Oh, I never clicked the thing. I got a 13. I never clicked the Corey itself. I need to remember that. All right, here we go. I rolled again. I got a 16, but I got a 13 the first time.
I'll fix it.
Technically,
sir. You'll still be in the position. As a matter of fact, do I have to fix it? No, you'll stay in the position where you are right now. So
yay! Woo! I'll take it.
Alrighty. Let's make that a little bit more thematic, shall we?
Oh Lord.
Let's get that fighting music out.
Stop eating my loot.
Minute.
There you go. Petro, there is a huge shrimp-looking creature in front of you. Like it's a shrimp just the size of like an interstate bus. You don't know what that is. The size of a wagon.
Wow. Okay. I guess I'm first up in initiative order.
Yes, you are.
I'm just thinking of what I should do here. Holly, I have an idea. Okay, I'm gonna. Petra's kind of standing in this like stairwell here, and so seeing that Briar and Corey are kind of out on the walkway over here, Petra's just gonna hold his shield up and say to Corey and Briar, just like, "Get behind me! Let's just get away from this thing." And I think I'm gonna take the dodge action as my turn, which will just give me advantage. Any attack roll made
Disadvantage.
against me will take disadvantage. Yeah.
Alrighty.
So I'm just gonna
And you
put all my focus into defending essentially.
Sounds good. And you also actually step back, or you just take the dodge action for now?
Just take the dodge action, stay where I am, and tell them to get behind me in that stairwell.
Sure.
That's it.
Alrighty. Corey.
I don't want to get within range of this
Oh.
thing. What?
Oh, never mind. I don't have any spell slots. Never mind.
Hmm.
I had another idea, but I can't do it.
I don't want to get within range of this thing, but I also don't know what else is in the water. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna basically do this cool Matrix move where I go up the wall around behind Briar,
Ooh.
and
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go ahead and take, just in case I get too close to him. I'm gonna take the disengage action, so
Cool.
that
You will need that because it would have an
Okay.
attack of opportunity on you, so now it doesn't.
So and Norbit's gonna get Norbit, get out of there! And Norbit's also gonna take the disengage action and run and rush to me.
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna leave enough room for Petro and Briar to make space here. So I'm gonna go up here.
Alrighty. Briar, what do you do?
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think because she's relatively close to the creature. She could take a disengage action, but I don't know if she'd be able to take like one step behind Petro without getting attacked unless I do a disengage.
I doubt it. Not the metagame, but
Eh. I'm going to attempt it just
Mhm.
because I want to keep an action up. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of squeeze my way behind Petro.
Sure. It will take an attack of opportunity
Mhm.
against you, which it will do with its pincers.
sounds bad.
Does an 18 hit you?
Just barely, but yes.
In that case, you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and you cannot move behind Petro as you are grappled in its pincers.
Oh no!
Shit.
So you still have your action as you moved. So what do you do?
She's gonna pull out her sword and start stabbing it.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Stab the crab.
Stab the crab! Would it be normal roll or disadvantage? Because she's...
No, as grappled, you can still like perfectly fight.
Okay, okay.
And
So that's a 14. You hit its like chitinous
Nice.
armor, and it doesn't go through.
Ah.
Clang.
Dang.
Briar.
Oh, is it my turn now?
Uh,
Still has
I believe you might have a second attack.
Yes. I will... I'll try one more time.
Or a bonus action, whatever you have.
Oh no!
Oof.
Natural one.
Big yikes.
Yeah, and a flurry of like oh, this is bad. You reach back again and you go forward and you actually cut like on your sleeve a little bit and it goes wide. So now you also have a cut in your sleeve.
I just stitched this.
Same place as last time too. Oh jeez.
All right, so the Chul will look at Briar caught in its pincers right now, and he will do a multi-attack, meaning he will do a pincer attack, and he will use its tentacles on its face to try and eat you.
Yikes.
The pincers will hit for a dirty 20, so that's another 11
God.
points of bludgeoning damage.
Briar!
I lost my ear in the attack.
And the tentacles wrap themselves around the exposed parts of your body, probably one around your face and one around your wrist. And I need a Constitution saving
Oh,
throw.
jeez.
Oh shit. Okay. Can't save. Oh please.
The lights go out and it feels
Oh,
cold.
no.
You are paralyzed.
Oh,
You do
okay.
not take any damage from this attack, but you are paralyzed.
Okay.
Started around. Petra.
Shit.
That is a
What Petra
fair
do in
statement.
this situation? How big is this creature?
Big. I wasn't lying when I said about the size of a wagon. I can see if I can have any actual like measurements for you, but it's
How big would you
big.
say its pincers are?
Gosh, about one Corey.
About one Corey.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I think what Petra's gonna do is he's gonna put all his focus into freeing Briar, and I think the best way to do that is he's going to lift his maul and attack the arm of the pincer, in an attempt to do as much damage to that pincer as possible, so that it'll let go.
I like that.
Okay.
So I'll attack with my maul.
Sure.
It's gonna be a 16 to hit.
That actually hits.
Yes, thank you. All right, and the damage is going to be 11 bludgeoning damage.
Nice. It will not release her. Yeah.
Dang. Okay. That's not great. I would cast Compelled Duel as a bonus action, but unfortunately I have 0 spell slots left. There's not really anything I can do. That's my turn.
Alright.
You know, if it's like, yeah, that's it.
Corey?
All right. Corey is going to, seeing past Petro, he sees Briar being grabbed and tentacled. So he's going to run up and like basically bound over Petro and over his shoulders and just like drive the rapier straight into this thing's face.
Love it.
And just basically not even really, and just incoherently screaming as he does it. And
Like a loud cat hiss.
yeah, like exactly. And so that's going to be a rapier attack of critical fail.
Oh no!
Big yikes.
And
You stab it right in the air.
yeah, so I imagine he just like misjudges the jump and just lands right against the thing. And Norbit's going to fly up and over and goes, Norbit, help Petro. And he's gonna get in the thing's face and use the help action for to try to help and distract it, basically. Is there like can I try to get in his face? Can I deal?
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool.
Whether or not it has an effect is something else. Roll me a performance check with the stats of Norbit. So,
Interesting. Okay. And performance is normally where's performance? Oh, there it is. It's charisma. Okay, cool. So double click on Norbit. Charisma. Ooh, he's got a negative to charisma. Oh, there it is. Performance. Cool. Roll. He got a 1.
Oh.
yeah, no, that's not going to cut it. He makes a lot of noise. The creature apparently doesn't pay it no mind.
Okay, so that's all I can do. Yeah.
All right. Briar, you are currently paralyzed. You can re-roll your con save to see if you snap out of it.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
That is enough. You wake up.
Oh, 14.
Oh, thank
All right.
goodness. Paralyzed hits are bad hits.
So you do have your round right now. So you sort of like wake up, bit groggy,
Full
bit
round.
dizzy. You're still in the pincers of this creature. What do you do?
I think she's gonna take a stab at the pinchers.
Sure.
The one that's
I'll
holding
allow-
on to her.
I'll allow an attack because basically snapping out is an action, but I'll allow you an attack.
Okay.
Cool.
Would a short sword do? I have hand axes. I can essentially like chop at it.
That's a good idea.
Reflavor them as crab hammers.
She's gonna go ahead and switch her weapon to use her hand axe instead. And she's gonna like start like wildly chopping at its pinchers to get out of this thing's grasp.
Ooh, that's good.
Ooh.
That'll hit.
19.
Nice.
That's for 3 points of damage, but that does hit. Let's see. You know what? You hit a nerve and it releases you.
Oh! Yay!
Nice.
It was 3 points of damage, right?
Yes.
Noted. Even though that like hit a nerve or something, like that pincer is still firmly on there, and it seems barely unscathed from what you've been doing so far, like collectively.
Interesting. Okay. But okay, at least one is gone. I can't disengage now that I used that action, can I?
No.
Okay. She's gonna go ahead and chop at it again with her hand axe.
Sure.
Why am I rolling better with the hand axes now?
So unfair, right?
Right? It's like, why does one thing work but another thing doesn't?
So that actually hits. So you lodge another hand axe like
17.
firmly into the top side of the pincer, creating a bit of a crack in the armor.
We're having shellfish tonight. Crab boil for everybody.
Anything else?
That is. I'm not gonna take the risk of an opportunity of attack, so I'm just gonna. Wait, actually, I forgot. Wow, I have second wind.
Yes, you do.
Oh, good.
Yes. Let me find it because I have it in my. Where is it? My features. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Nice,
Ooh.
Max.
Oh.
Nice. Well done.
All right.
That's a full 13 points of healing as you just bite through. You're like, I'm not gonna be bested by no freaking shrimp.
Mhm.
The thoughts of a lobster bake boil your
Yep.
brain into stimulus.
Yeah, as soon as she's released and she kind of has that moment, she kind of looks like she's just taking a deep breath to kind of recenter herself, and then she seems fine after she lets out that breath.
That is your turn?
Mhm.
Alrighty. So the Chul gets ready to raise its pincer again towards you as the three of you all of a sudden hear what sounds like footsteps coming from the hallway up here. And you hear a voice yelling, "No! Fluffy, get back!" The creature immediately turns towards the voice and takes a step back. Technically, you are allowed an opportunity attack. Do you take it?
No.
Mm-mm.
Who the hell said that?
Okay. As it retreats, it moves back into the water, looks at the three of you again, and then goes underwater. This ends your combat for now.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And turn towards the hallway.
You see two creatures running into the room here and looking at the three of you. Oh, we are so sorry.
Oh. Well, yeah. I wouldn't have attacked your friend, but he attacked my friend, and I wanted to get her free. And we almost just died earlier. So appreciate the apology.
Yes. Our friend Fluffy is very hungry and likes people who are not dead.
Oh. Have you tried feeding it potatoes instead?
They look at each other, then look at you. I'd never heard of this potato, but it sounds lovely.
Oh, it grows in the ground, and you can do all sorts of things. Oh, anyway, my name's Petra. What's your name?
Oh, I am Blip Bloop, and this is Slurpee.
Bloop bloop and Slurpee. Nice to meet you. These are my friends Corey and Briar.
Hello, Corey. Hello, Briar.
Pleasure.
So,
What?
looking at these two creatures, they quite literally look like a fish stuck onto like a human. It is the worst combination of a human body and a fish. They look distinctly different though, but they still sort of share the same similarities. One of them has a fish for a head, but the body itself looks mostly human, just like covered in scales. And clothing wise, he looks relatively primitive. He's wearing a loincloth and one of those like leather straps like that should serve as armor, and he's carrying a spear. The other one looks a little bit more mermaid-ish, but still has that telltale human body, fish face kind of thing going for it. Um, it's a weird amalgamation. They don't seem to be too hostile to the three of you.
Can I just say, your whole getup is really nice. I like the way that you paired your leather armor with the little flourishes on your spear. It's a very nice coordination.
Oh,
Uh,
well, thank you. We work with whatever we can get down here.
Out of character, just for anyone listening to our podcast right now, Barry is completely fish-like and has bubbles going up and down. He's wow,
I love doing my little cam tricks.
It's so awesome.
it's great. All right,
Our DM cast this guy's self.
Pretty much, yeah.
he casts alter terrain. So are you guys like living down here?
Yes, this is our hunting grounds, and back there is where we live. We live here in harmony with all the other water creatures, and we are governed by the Duchess.
All the other water creatures. That
Yes, you met Fluffy, but there's others.
Who's the By the way, you might want to get Fluffy's arm checked. Who's the Duchess?
Oh, the Duchess is the most benevolent leader you will ever find in
Oh.
the city. The Duchess will show you great hospitality. I'm sure of it.
Oh, that sounds really nice. We've had a kind of a weird relationship to hospitality recently. But this sounds a little bit more legitimate than the last one.
yeah.
Yes.
I think we're gonna have to take you up on that another time. I don't think we exactly. I think we need to go back home for a little. Petro, I think. I don't think we.
Oh, they might be right. But I'm curious, how often do you get surface dwellers visiting?
We don't see surface dwellers a lot, and usually when they do get down here, they're very hostile. It's nice to talk to people that don't immediately try to put a sword in us.
Oh, I would never do that. But yeah, I've noticed that as well. A lot of people seem to just attack each other and not really talk things out first.
That is true. And we are a peace-loving people, as the Duchess commands. The Duchess is the ruler of the deep water, and all that flows below is her domain. I am sure of it.
Does he seem genuine when he says this?
I don't think genuine is the right word. There is almost a, without making it creepy or aggressive, there is a zealousness to this. Like, this is, the quintessential paladin that just fiercely loves his religion. That kind of vibe.
Oh, this is all. This sounds great to me. In fact, you remind me of some of my friends on the surface.
Oh? The surface must be very pretty, but as you can imagine, we do like the water down here, and with the offerings being dropped down here as our hunting grounds, we really needn't go upstairs, so we're happy down here. I'm sure of it.
Can I ask a question? I don't want to be rude. What is the name of your species?
Oh, we are, and they look at each other. We are the enlightened.
Oh, that's an interesting species name. Uh, And your leader, the Duchess, she looks like you as well.
Oh, the Duchess is so much prettier than all of us. She has a great pool that collects the sky water, and she dwells there and makes for a very benevolent leader and makes sure that all of us have a good home and a good life. I'm sure of it.
And I kind of look back at Corey and Briar to get a vibe check.
Corey's looking at their clothes and trying to gauge like can he upgrade their clothes at all? Slash B, do they use currency or do they have delirium on them?
Currency and delirium are hard to see if they do have it on them. It's probably in a pouch. They do carry like some pouches, like it's primitive style.
Mhm.
As for the armor they're wearing, that is 100% scavenged. It looks like the kind of stuff that the bodies wear. And their armor is not like a set or any sort of like military get up that would signify that they're a lieutenant. No, this is literally just scavenged from the bodies in the water.
I mean, honestly, these guys are well nicer than some of the Queensmen we run into, so I mean, it don't seem that too bad. We're a little Briar.
I don't see any hostility towards them. They did tell their little
Friend.
Fluffy to back away, so I'm inclined to hear them out, but it would be nice to get back to the surface very soon. We do have some things to take care of.
I imagine you guys
Oh.
don't get up to the surface all that often, or deal with surface dwellers other than, like you said, hostily. So,
Yeah.
how do you guys trade? Like, if someone were to say, catch something, like let's say catch a corpse, and one of you other ones wanted it, how would you trade like that?
Oh, we trade in everything that we can find, really. There is value in everything, but the Duchess likes magical items above all, and we do too. I'm sure of it.
Like, what do you mean by magical items? You got magical items? What kind of magical items are we talking?
We like any magical items. We bring it as offerings to the Duchess for her collection, but we trade in everything else. Everything has a use.
Where about is this? Is the Duchess? I mean, what if we want to go visit and pay our respects and such?
So one of them like lowers his spear a little bit and points towards one of the grates that you see in this cistern. If you look at the cistern, there are a couple of exits. The one that you came from, the one that you sort of like duck into when you were being attacked by Fluffy, which has a stone staircase leading all the way up to the surface, it seems. And then there is the exit that these two creatures, Slurpee and Blip Bloop, came from. Then finally, on the western side of this cistern, there seems to be a metal grate, and that is exactly where he's pointing at. Through that grate, you can go to the Duchess. It is by invitation only, but we are inviting you. You have been nothing but kind to us, so we extend the same to you.
Well, have you ever heard of a rain check?
We do check often if the rain comes down in the cistern, but other than rain, we do prefer bodies falling down because that provides us with sustenance for us and our offspring. I'm sure of it.
Do you eat the bodies?
Well, yes, everything has a purpose. I'm sure of it.
I guess if they're dead, that's okay. Can I ask you, what are we below right now? Do you know what's on the surface above here?
Oh, above is the great sacrificial area. We don't know exactly what is going on, but over there, everything has been offered for us down here.
And
I'm sure of it.
the people doing the sacrifices, are they enlightened too?
They look confused and they look at each other. There's no people up there but the bodies that fall down.
Oh, so what is up there? What's killing the bodies?
I'm not so sure of it.
Oh, that's the first time you've said that.
They look at each other, then they look at the skylight, and then they look like towards the hallway that Briar is still standing in, the one with the stone staircase that is leading all the way up. Perhaps that is the way to the surface. We do not go there, but you, as surface dwellers, perhaps want to go ahead and take a look.
Well, I think if something's gonna stab me when I get up there, I don't necessarily want to go that way.
That is a fair point. I'm sure of it.
Well, what do you think, Corey and Briar?
I mean, we can take a peek just to see what's up there, right, Brian?
Yeah, we'll have to take a peek.
But yeah, we don't want to conflict with it.
Well, we're gonna go look at the surface. We might come back though, but if we don't, I just want to say it was really nice meeting you, Slurpee and Blip Blip.
It is very nice meeting you too. And they look at you like what your name is.
Oh, I'm Petro. And yeah, I hope that we get to meet the Duchess another day.
Yeah, name's Corey Flinsker. I actually traffic in a lot of magical items. If you ever need my services, here's my card. And he hands him like a little stone with a carving of his name.
Hang on. One of them picks it up, looks at it, and is like, "Oh, that is very kind of you." And he like tries to eat it as he thinks like that's sort of like an offering, and he's not sure what to do with it.
Just to call him on my service. I wanted to ask you guys a question. I'll be right back. Okay, don't go anywhere. I have a possible deal for you, okay? I know you guys like magical items, but I got something even better. Huh? I will be right back.
Oh, she would love a magical trinket or perhaps a great crystal. I'm sure of it.
Crystal, so you guys do know about delirium. The crystals.
Delirium?
Crystal, sorry. Great crystal. Purple
Oh, the
crystal,
crystals. Yes.
Yeah.
Crystals are very powerful. Duchess really likes them.
Oh, they are very powerful. And you know, what else is very powerful? Trade amongst friends. So like I said, we'll be back.
Oh, well, if you are back, then we are happy to have you back. I'm sure of it.
Right. Let's check out what's going on up there, but let's be careful about it.
Okay.
Down here, can I tell how far it is to the surface? Like how far up?
So it is quite a ways up, to be honest. If you want to climb the staircase all the way, that has to be at least like 30 feet.
Okay. So like a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We can climb up. I think I'm gonna stay back a little bit since I'm not exactly the stealthiest creature. Say, okay, Corey, Briar, you guys go take a peek and just let me know if it's safe to come up, okay?
All right. Yeah, sounds like a plan.
That's fine.
Yeah, creep up and Briar, do you want to go or do you want me to take a look? You can probably get out of there pretty quick.
I'll take a peek.
All right.
All right. So, as you go all the way up on this stone circular staircase, it ends at what seems to be a metal grate, which is currently closed. You can look through it, but it'll give you very limited vision, of course, as it's a closed grate. But in the immediate vicinity of the grate, it seems completely quiet. You don't notice anything there. What do you do?
I'm gonna have her push against the grate.
Okay. It is heavy, but you are also rather strong. So you will be able to lift it like up a little bit, so you'll have a bit of advantage. Like it won't immediately like flap open, but you'll have a bit of a vantage point to look around. Do you want to look around?
Yes.
Kind of grate that goes up and down like this, or is it like it's like a door that opens?
No, it's one of those literal like floor grates that can flip open. One of those like squarish ones.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I misunderstood.
Like a cover.
Yeah, it's like a cover, but like with slits
yeah.
in it. Yeah. Cool. So as you raise it up a little bit, you can actually look around, and to your astonishment, you see the following.
Oh, what a name!
As you look around the area, first off, Corey, do you also look, or is it just Briar that's looking?
So I've let her go up. I kind of want to keep it one person at a time for now, but I'm waiting in the wings.
Sure. In that case, I'll do it from the vantage point of Briar. Briar, you basically you're looking onto this square from over here. That's the grate.
Okay.
Quickly looking around, you'll notice that right behind you is a well, and this well seems to be connected to the cistern. This is where the bodies fall through, apparently. Looking around, you notice that you are on a square. The air over here is rather thick if we're talking this delirium haze that is here. You can still look through it perfectly, but you're once reminded that, yeah, you are still very much in Drakkenheim. The buildings around you over here are all solid stone. A lot of them are dilapidated, destroyed, deteriorated, all that, but they look definitely a lot better than the buildings you saw out in the spokes when you traveled around the area of the Black Ivory Inn and whatnot. Judging from the quality of the buildings over here, it is without a shadow of a doubt that you are on the inside of the city. You have passed beyond the city wall. This is the inside of the city. As to what kind of square this is, you don't know Drakkenheim well enough, I think, to immediately recognize it, until you start looking around. Beyond the buildings and the well, you will notice two more things. First off, slightly to the south of where you are, you will notice a wooden scaffolding. This scaffolding will have a small set of stairs that lead up, and on this scaffolding there are two things. One, there is a gallows, and next to it there is a wooden block, and in front of it is the opening of the well. This seems to be a chopping block for people to be beheaded, and very slowly you'll start to realize which square this is. For Drakkenheim had a very, very famous square on the inside of the city. It was the square where most of the roads converged, and it was also the place where, if any time there had to be a public execution, it would be handed down here. And the thought runs in your mind and a chill runs down your spine as you start to realize this is Slaughterstone Square, named after what happened here. And then it hits you. The killings that happened here, the executions, if you will, are usually done by an executioner. And an executioner traditionally does not live in the city. They usually live in the outskirts. They are seen as unclean and filthy, and therefore cannot live amongst common people. Drakkenheim had found a solution to this problem, traveling the executioner in and out of the city constantly early on, because that traveling would only cost more time and would be quite a nuisance. Instead of that, way before the meteor even struck the city, the brightest and cleverest of Drakkenheim devised a solution to having an executioner travel into the city. Rather than having that, they constructed a rather large but ingenious machine that would take over the executions. Dubbed, very cleverly, the Executioner, this monster of a machine would automatically remove the heads of anyone being brought to justice, therefore eliminating the need for a human or other race execution. This machine was perfectly under control of whoever ruled that, most probably anyone in the Mage Guild or someone from Castle Draken. And as you look around, you actually catch sight of this monster of a machine. It is sitting on the ground right next to the well on the other side of where you are right now. This thing is absolutely bulking, made of metal and carrying a scythe the size of a horse. That thing could basically smash anything in two if it wants to. The machine is sitting down and it seems almost deactivated. There's one other thing you're noticing about this machine. On the back, on his shoulders, there are numerous spikes that are protruding from its armor. They're rather large and are about the thickness of a fist or a paw, if you will. Put on top of these spikes are currently 3 bodies. One of a hooded lantern, and 2 of indistinguishable adventurers. Whomever put them on there either thought that would be very funny, or more macabre probably, someone put them there as a warning sign to all, as these bodies are just hanging there from these spikes protruding from the executioner. All in all, this is not a pleasant place to are, especially if you are wanted. But beyond what I just described, the square looks empty. There's no activity right now. Nothing that would suggest bodies being dropped down the well. The machine looks inoperable at the moment, and nothing would suggest mass murderings happening here. What do you do?
She's gonna carefully kind of start going back down the staircase to where Corey and Petro are, and she just kind of keeps her voice low, and she just, we are in a very, very dangerous place right now. Either we go back the way we came, or we can sneak our way out here.
Oh, so, is upstairs not outside of Drakkenheim?
We are in Drakkenheim, but we're in the Slaughterer's Square.
Can I ask, would Petro be familiar with the Slaughterstone Square?
Absolutely. Like, I think, and you'll be the final judge of this, but I think Petra would not like this. But in olden days, executions were a form of public entertainment. You know, it was one part justice, one part entertainment, and because of that, public executions had a deserved place in Drakkenheim society. Because of that, this was just a very well-known square. It's actually one of the 3 squares in the inside of the city which were like very populous. And even if you didn't care about the executions and whatnot, if you wanted to travel from anywhere to anywhere in the city, chances are you would come through Slaughterstone Square, as it connected everything to everything. So yeah, if you've been in Drakkenheim, which you have been, you would know of Slaughterstone Square.
So hearing her mention it, oh, is Exy up there? I don't like him at all.
He's up there.
Oh,
But
we should
something's-
definitely turn around.
Something's
Please.
very, very wrong.
Slaughterstone? Exy as in like an executioner, as in like the big...
The
Big
big
mechanic. Yeah,
executioner.
Yeah, the big metal guy. He's
The
not very
executioner's
nice.
here?
He's here.
Oh,
Oh
I gotta
god,
get
you're
a
an
look.
artificer.
I gotta get a look.
No.
Just realized.
I gotta get a look.
Corey, no.
I've been wanting to see them since the day the media hit. Like, what happened to him? What does he look like? Oh man,
Corey,
He still
do you
still
remember
looks the
that
same,
time
but
that
there's
we were-
nothing right about it.
remember
Yeah.
when we were underground and you took the stones off the guy's eyes and then we
I'm
all
not
almost
gonna
died?
ask him his autograph.
It's one of those situations. Maybe we should stay down here.
But you saw him. He's up there. What's he doing?
He's inactive right now.
What do you mean by inactive? What is he like? Standing still? Is he laying down? What is he propped up against a building?
He's sitting there. Hasn't noticed.
Okay. I mean, it's a construct. They're controlled by something. It's not like he can notice things. I mean, he could.
But
I could set him. Okay. Yeah. You're probably right.
you forget. Magical constructs and delirium do not mix.
I don't forget that. My entire life's work is magical constructs. All right. I'm not gonna go tinkering with them. I'm not gonna go, messing around. I just wanted I just want to get eyes on. Okay. I'll be up and back in a flash. Okay. Just don't go anywhere. I'll be quiet as a shadow.
Be careful, okay?
I'm gonna be careful. And he's going to sneak carefully up the stairs and basically do the same thing and just try to see what the condition is of this machine.
Sure. So beyond what I just described, which is what you will see as well, looking at the machine itself, give me a perception check, but with advantage. Like this is your shtick.
I was gonna tell you what specifically I was looking for. Like anything
Sure.
that looks like power sources or control sources, anything where it could be getting instructions or like open wiring, stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and do a perception check now.
Sure. And with advantage, you can
With
do that.
advantage. Thank you, sir. The advantage helped. I got a 20, dirty 20.
Nice. This is a marvel of technology. It was back in its day, and even though it kind of looks like it's like it's either sleeping or broken down, and since it's a construct, it's probably not sleeping. It is just basically just sitting down there, and it looks like it's not doing anything. That being said, this is a marvel of technology. This thing was semi-sentient, but very obeying of whoever like made the executions happen. The thing apparently was powered by something, as there is no cable running towards it. The power source itself is not immediately exposed, so you can't really see it. But you would assess that there's probably like a latch or something somewhere that would power this monster of a creature. Whatever the power source might be of this thing, it has to be potent. And beyond that, the craftsmanship and whatnot, like this thing, like you always go for the money because that's what you are, Corey. Like this thing could, like you'd sell this, you never have to work again. Like this is amazing work.
So no, he would sell everything else to buy this. So this is like money.
Fair.
Money is is a means to an end for him. Mechanical and arcanical devices are his bread and butter. Like that's what he wants to understand everything about them, and he wants to be able to show that he can know them better than anyone else. So
with this thing, if you were able to basically sit on its face and just direct it through Drakkenheim, like kill everything, like yeah, you'd become very famous very quickly.
Right, so yeah, he looks at it, holds up a stone. He's thinking about it. Next time. Okay, Spotazone Square. He's closed the grate before he says anything. He's barely even breathing when he's up there. Closes the grate. And then on his way down, he's like, okay, Spotazone Square, down the Black Ivory Inn tunnel, okay, on the northeastern side of the spokes. Okay, all right. He gets back down to Briar and Petro.
Alrighty.
That's the executioner. That's the executioner.
Oh, it's like he's not a celebrity. Jeez.
Have you heard of it? It's a mechanical marvel. No one knows who built it. No one knows how it functions. If we can figure that out.
I do know who built it, actually. But yeah, it's just kind of a murder machine now, or at least that's my guess.
I don't know the architect. If I could get my hands on those blueprints, or better yet, I can actually get inside it. One day.
Yeah, maybe one day, Corey.
One day.
Not today. Brian, you look better than you look better than I thought you would, but you look like you've been stabbed a lot, and I have been stabbed a lot. And Petro, you got eaten. So no, we're not today, but soon.
As you're coming back down, by the way, Blip Bloop and Slurpee are taking turns spearfishing the corpses, which is, it's an efficient way, but it's like creepy.
Mm.
So
when we did it, we used a rope with a loop on it. But I see that you're just going ahead and stabbing them. Okay.
It makes it a lot easier. I'm sure of it.
So you guys found any magical items that you were gonna bring to the Duchess as an offering?
Oh, at the moment we don't have any magical items. We don't find a lot of them, but sometimes bodies fall down with magical items, and then we do bring it to the Duchess. I'm sure of it.
So, in your opinion, as a follower of the magnificent Duchess, would you say that she prefers magical items or delirium? Which one would you, or sorry, crystals? You know, purple shiny crystals.
Our Duchess likes them both equally. I'm sure of it.
So then, if you were to find a magical item, instead of bringing it to her right away, if you hang on to it, maybe if I come back, I can bring you 2 crystals. Or I can bring you some crystals and we can decide. You told me earlier you trade things, right? Maybe she wants these more than that, and we can just see, you know?
They look at each other and then look at you and they nod. Yes, that could work. I'm sure of it.
All right, it's a deal. Now, unfortunately, at the moment, we are gonna have to rest and recuperate. We surface dwellers, we don't do so good down in these places as much as you and your magnificent forms. So we may have to. We're gonna have to come back. But it was a pleasure, meeting you, and a pleasure to possibly do business with you.
It was a pleasure to meet you too. I'm sure of it.
Actually, I had a question. If we wanted to just take a little bit of a break, and maybe just kind of recollect ourselves, is there a good place to do that down here?
Oh, yes. You can rest in the entirety of the sewers. When we are around, I'm sure that we will not cause you any harm. Right? Blip, blip. Right, Slurpee.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I don't know why you would even mention that, but okay.
You want to take a seat over here on the stairs and just like contemplate what's going on recently?
Yeah, I think just a short rest would be good.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
In that short rest that you do, by the way, Blip, Blip, and Slurpee will basically like get one or two bodies out of the water and then turn around before like nodding once more at you, like, well, if we see you around, we hope that you will visit the Duchess and enjoy her company. I'm sure of it. And then they scurry off.
Oh, okay. Okay, bye.
And Fluffy's gonna stay in the water and not do any harm to anybody, right?
Oh, yes. Fluffy has enough to eat right now. He understands you are visitors. I'm sure of it.
It's weird to call him Fluffy because he's more like Shelly, if anything.
Did they take
That's
the body with the
funny. And it's canon. It's now called Shelly. I like that.
I love it.
Did they take the body of the purple robed wizard?
No, that one is still in the water.
Yeah, let's sit down and rest for a bit.
Oh, I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Norbit, do the same thing we tried earlier. Go ahead and just tie this around his ankle and bring him, and I'll pull him over.
You did this before or after the rest?
I'm sort of sitting on the side watching Norbit fly over, and would it disrupt my rest to pull the body across the water?
No.
Just gonna pull him over and go fishing in his pockets.
Sure. As you do that, by the way, Blip Bloop just briefly returns and looks at the three of you, and he says, "Oh, my apologies. We just realized that Fluffy, that's his name in our language. I believe in common it is Shelly." And he just walks off again.
Uh-huh. It's not a retcon if you justify it in the story.
Exactly.
Corey just freezes halfway through, like hands in the pockets of this thing, like, "Oh, you're not here for me. Okay, cool."
Yeah, so the wizard, or it's actually like looking at him, it's not like a full wizard. I'm pretty sure, Corey, like you're not, you haven't been with the Amethyst Academy, but you know
I've been around them enough. Probably eavesdropped on their conversations and stuff.
Do you know how to tell ranks within the Amethyst Academy?
I think I imagine that River has bragged to me before about her rank and like flashed her rank sign in front of me, like, "Haha, I'm this."
So can you recall to me like what your rank sign is? Like
number of
like what a
rings.
rank sign is within
The
the
rings,
rings? Yes. So yeah, so I'll allow that then as in character. The wizards of the Amethyst Academy, if they hold any position of power within the Amethyst Academy, they get rings. They are personalized, and the more rings you have, the higher up you are. And you can have a total of 10 rings. Surprise, surprise, because you have 10 fingers. So it's very easy to tell. The more rings a wizard has, the higher up he is within the academy. The wizard or mage that you pull towards you doesn't seem to have any rings on him, which would lead you to believe that this is probably like a hedge mage rather than a wizard. So like a really lower level, basically an intern. Like that's the level of wizardry we're talking about here. So much about like his ranks and whatnot. So there's no any magical rings on them. If you go through their pockets, you actually will find two things. You will find a spell scroll, and you will find a potion bottle. The spell scroll will be waterlogged, and it'll need some drying to become effective. If you want to try and open it already to see what it is, you can try it, but it is a gamble whether or not you might destroy it in the process. If you dry it, you will know what it is.
He's definitely gonna keep it in the way that it is, and he's gonna wait until he can use some fans to dry it out.
Sure. As for the bottle, you will instantly recognize it. That is a potion of healing.
I'm gonna hand it over to Briar because I have one right now, and she may be in a situation where she needs one in the future.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna add waterlogged scroll to my inventory.
Sure.
All right, so yeah, basically I spend my rest just contemplating that and rifling through bodies, stuff like that, and just sitting on the side.
Sure. Briar, Petra, what do you do for your short rest?
Briar's just gonna, she's gonna be leaned up against the stairwell, and she's just kind of playing around with her stopwatch, and she opens it up and just kind of looks on the inside. The time on it itself is janky because it actually doesn't work anymore. It doesn't tell time anymore. But inside of it, it does like have a very small picture. And if someone looked really close at it, it kind of has a picture of a very, very small looking Briar in her early years when she had her full horns grown in, and beside her is another man. And that is her uncle.
Oh, Briar, who are those people?
That's actually that's me and my uncle when I was
Oh.
younger.
Wow, your horns were so big back then.
Yes, they'd probably be bigger now if I let them grow out.
Oh, why don't you let them grow out?
I would, but that would make me easier to find.
Oh. So I'm confused. Who is trying to find you? And oh wait, it's your uncle or no, your dad?
Both my parents,
Oh,
essentially my family, my whole family.
and they did bad things, and you wanted to get away from the bad things, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that you can't have horns because of that. That'd be really fun.
Maybe one day I'll let them grow up, but they'll definitely be a lot heavier if I let them grow in now.
I guess that's true. You'd have to carry them around, kind of like I carry this helmet on my head all day. It does get kind of tiring. So,
Yeah. Which, honestly, as she's kind of like reaching up to kind of like feel around her forehead, she's noticing like her horns are starting to grow in like just a smidge more. She's like, I'm probably due for a shave down for these very soon.
So what happens if they find you?
They could kill me. They could torch me. They could essentially do whatever they wanted with me. Either make me like them again, or they could just outright kill me. And
Briar,
I'd rather
I'm
not.
not gonna let them do any of those things.
Thank you, Petro.
Anything you can do to, aside from hiding, is there anything you could do to stop them? Because I mean, living in hiding, I know that's not really a real life, you know.
Well, I could kill them.
I mean, that seems like a little that's a hell of a leap.
Then,
You know, that escalated quickly. Is there anything?
but it'd be the only way to get them to stop coming after me. There's no talking to them.
So there's no way to prove to them that it's not, you know, not worth it, not worth the effort.
Not worth the effort. Not with these kinds of people.
How many of them would you have to kill, just hypothetically, before they stopped looking at you?
Well, if I manage to take down the people that raised me, that would tell them to back off. But that would also depend on which family member would decide to keep coming after me. Essentially, it's my parents that run the full thing. They run the as the head of the family. I take out the head. Essentially, I would become the next one.
So what if you were affiliated with someone a little more powerful than your parents? Would they risk going up against someone who, I don't know, say King and Queen of Drakkenheim, head of the Hooded Lanterns? I don't really know where they lie on the power structure. They seem like they're pretty shady.
That would depend on how much high of a power they have to really get them to stop.
I'm sure the Queen of Thieves is pretty powerful. She seems pretty powerful.
They work with her. So highly doubt that. It's not in their favor to break off a deal with them.
Well, furbolgs are very good at hiding. And so, if you need to hide, maybe I can help you with that. And I get it. Sometimes I just don't want to fight things. Sometimes I just don't want to talk to people. That's why sometimes I can kind of turn invisible. That's how us furbolgs have really survived in the forest for so long. So I understand. Hiding can be good sometimes.
Yeah, I still want to know how you do that thing where you turn invisible and stuff like that. That's really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've always been able to do it. It's just one of those things we learn when we're little.
All right. Yeah, I mean, like, do you know like what does it do? Are you like bending light around you? Are you snapping out of existence and you're moving somewhere else in like the astral plane or something? How do you do it?
Oh, well, I don't know. I just hide
Hmm.
really, really well.
All right. Well, next time you do it, I want to maybe do some tests.
Oh, it's just kind of like, if I asked you how you breathe, you'd be like, well, I breathe in and then I breathe out. And for me, it's just kind of the same thing where I just decide I want to be hidden and then I am.
Yeah, I
So,
read a book on that once. It was like you have a diagram that is in yourself, and it like expands and stuff, and it pulls the air in and out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, I want to take a look at that just because I've been thinking about, like, I got this thing, and he holds up the little thing that you saw. Like, if you saw him earlier at the Black Ivory Inn, he cast Disguise Self, and basically all of the nodes on his armor flickered up an image, and that's how he did it. So he's like, I don't know how to make it see through yet, but that would be really cool. Huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can kind of do that too. Well, you've met Steve. And that's how I kind of get through the human world if I need to.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't gonna sue me for copyright infringement for doing your trick. I kind of learned it from watching you, to be honest.
Oh, I'm flattered by that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clever. I like it. I mean, it wasn't that hard to create an image. I mean, like, I can create little image emitters all over the place, but going completely see through, that's impressive. I will tell you, right. And also, I mean, the fact that you can do it without any technology, very cool, very interesting. I like it.
Yeah, all furbolgs can do it.
Well, how do you handle when, like, because I've seen you get smaller, like you look smaller, but I know you haven't changed, right? You don't actually change. You're not like transforming or anything. It's just an illusion.
No. Yeah, it's just an illusion. I can get smaller, but not by a lot, only a little bit. And sometimes if I'm like walking through a door, I'll need to duck down because it's actually I'm too tall for the door, and so someone will be like, "Steve, why are you ducking down?" And I'll say, "I don't know. I just sometimes I want to smell the floor a little bit better because I'm a human." And they'll look at me funny, but they'll believe me sometimes. And sometimes if there's like a beam in a building or like a tree branch, I'll have to duck down then too. And basically, yeah, it's just an illusion. It doesn't actually change me. It just changes the way that people see me.
All right, yeah. I mean, I was actually going to ask you that. Like, what if you went into a place with a low ceiling? But that makes a lot of sense. Interesting.
Oh yeah, it gets tricky sometimes, especially in the big cities, when there's so much going on. It's so crowded. Um, but yeah, I've been able to use it pretty successfully for most of my life.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll keep working on that. No, but quit playing with that. Get away from the water. You don't know if that thing's coming back.
Ribbit.
You see Corey's kind of like messing with a couple of little metal rods that are connected by gears, and it looks almost like a tiny arm with an L at the end of it, and he puts it on a rock, and it just starts spinning like around, and almost like grasping, like it's trying to push off of something. If you didn't know any better, it looks almost like a little metallic leg. I gotta get the servos working on this thing. This ain't working yet. Oh,
So is there anything else you do during your short rest?
I think Petra does like a short prayer.
Oh, makes sense. All right. Beyond what you've just discussed, the rest of the hour you will take to probably eat something, bandage up a little bit, just make sure that you feel a little better. You can take your short rest. During this hour, you will also hear various sounds through the sewers, some of which sound a little strange. You'd imagine in a sewer you would hear running water, maybe the odd like rat like scurrying by, and sure you hear that. But there's also a couple of other sounds coming from the sewers that might just run a chill up your spine. Weird yelps of creatures that just sound a lot bigger than what should be down here in the sewers. The kind of stuff that you don't want to probably run into. It's hard to pinpoint what exactly it is or where it comes from. Probably deeper in the sewers, as it does echo. But as to what it is, it's anyone's guess, really. You feel a little better after about an hour, and it is up to you what you do now. Where do you want to go?
I think we probably want to head back. I mean, we did the job, right?
I guess we want to meet the Duchess another time.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
they did say that these tunnels are supposed to go outside of Drakkenheim, right?
Well, yeah, we just came from outside of Drakkenheim, right?
No, we just came from inside Drakkenheim.
So, you
Oh, no, we
remember
didn't.
you
Okay,
remember the
never
inn?
mind.
You remember the Black Ivory Inn with the piano and all the
You know,
bad stuff?
I got a little bit turned around there. Sometimes when I'm navigating, I just get things completely turned backwards. And so I thought that we came out from Dragonheim and then into the not Dragonheim. But it turns out it was the opposite. Sometimes I just get mixed up. And also, Exy's very scary, and so I was trying to avoid him.
Yeah, I don't think we want to mess with him right now. We will be back though. That would be. I mean, think about it. Imagine us in control of a giant robot. I mean, we don't necessarily need to do anything with it. You know, I don't want to like use it or anything. Or I mean, if we could, that'd be awesome. But I also want to learn about it. You know, learn what makes it tick.
Yeah. And maybe we could get him to stop killing, and then he could be like a farming robot, and he could put potatoes in the ground. Oh, that's a great idea, Corey.
That is you know what? You are onto a very good idea. But not only that, first of all, we're gonna have to figure out how it works, right?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Figure out how it works.
And
Figure out how
also-
to control it.
Also, avoid getting beheaded if we need it.
Yes, that is that's high up on the priority list. But I think for now, we probably want to go back to Emberwood. There's a few people we need to meet. We need to finish up our job with Blackjack Mel. We need to let Ansem know that is the Hooded Lanterns is safe. Did we ever figure out that she was his sister?
Yes, they're
Okay.
twins.
Yeah.
We gotta let him know that Petra's safe, not Petra. And I want to check on the
Petra
store. You know?
saves you.
I want to check on the store.
All right.
Yeah.
So traveling, that is something that has to be discussed, of course. When you go back to the Black Ivory Inn, as you might remember, you are still on the western side of the Dran River. So that is something worth considering. If you want to go back to Emberwood Village, you'd have to swim across or find another way across. You'd have to use stick services to use a boat to get across, but that is quite a ways away.
So, first of all, I want to make sure Briar and Petra want to go, but second off, didn't we? So we had to cross the Dran River to go from Emberwood over to the mill, right?
Yes.
And then we went around Drakkenheim on the north side to the other side of Drakkenheim.
Yes. We haven't crossed it yet.
Correct.
So if we went straight south, we'd be back on the original side of the Dran River, right?
But we'd have to cross.
Yes, but that would mean that if you go straight south from the Black Ivory Inn, you'd have to cross the Dran River to actually be on that. Yeah, the
So we
Dran
have to
River
go all
runs
the way
there.
back around. Oh, jeez.
Is that on
Either all the way. So
Is that on the Drakkenheim
Sorry, go ahead. As a matter of fact, let me let's pull up that map, because if you're going to travel back, we're going to need it.
Yeah.
So you are, for clarification, you have been
Right.
here.
Hmm.
That is
Hasn't loaded.
Slaughterstone Square.
Ooh.
It isn't loaded for me.
Give it a second.
Oh, right there. Okay, cool.
So that is Slaughterstone Square, hence the little ghosty figures that are floating around on the map over there. Now you know why. So that is where you've just peeked your head up. So you have been inside the city. Yay, you. First time. So you have a bit of a conundrum, a bit of a consideration here to make. You can go back to the Black Ivory Inn, which is the number 17 on the map, which would be over here. If you do, you're still on the northern side or the western side of the Dran River. Going to the southern side would constitute one of a few possibilities. You can find the next bridge over that isn't Drakkenheim. That means you have to travel a few days outside of Drakkenheim to find one such bridge. Alternatively, you have to travel all the way around Castle Draken towards most probably Ackerman Mill first, as nightfall will start coming in soon, and then travel towards Styx, get across the river, and then go to Emberwood Village. Option 3 is you swim across. You can always try. And option 4 is to try your luck on the inside of the city. You have been there now, so you can opt to find your way through the inner city, take one of the bridges across the river, and then try to exit the city. Those are roughly your options.
Ori, do you know anybody who owns a boat? I feel like a boat just on the outside of the city would solve a lot of our problems.
Yeah, the problem with a boat is we'd also have to have oars or some other method of propulsion, because otherwise we're just at the mercy of the water.
Oh, I mean, I assume that the boat would have oars.
So, assuming
point.
the quickest way, we might need to go through Slaughterhouse Square.
I mean, given a lot of time, I could probably build a boat, but I don't think we have that much time. Like,
We really
I'm
don't.
I'm talking
Material.
weeks. Yeah, I'm talking weeks. Outside, maybe from like outside the city, but I can't make one. I don't think we. Can I recall? Are there any like docks or piers or anything on this side that might happen to have like a rowboat that didn't get destroyed?
So might is a keyword over there. Yes. The entirety of the Dran River, especially around the city, even on the outskirts, has wooden or even stone docks. So yeah, there is a docking area. The issue though is the issue that you're currently running into is the issue that everyone has that visits Drakkenheim. There is no way across the river unless you take one of the bridges. And so because of that, boats have become both a necessity and a scarcity at the same time. The fact Styx makes things a lot easier, but bringing a boat into Drakkenheim would solve a problem. But you'd also, other than being at the mercy of the water, also be at the mercy of anyone else around you, because you're not the only one who wants to cross the river. Chances are you put a boat in the water, you get across, and then you do whatever you need to do over there. When you come back, chances are your boat is going to be gone, because you are not the only one that wants a boat.
Yeah.
But it's a consideration. Yeah.
How far across is the Dran River? I know
it's quite a bit. I believe memory serves 300 feet, but let me quickly have a look.
Okay.
400 feet. I was close.
Mm.
And the water
Yeah.
is relatively fast moving still.
So, as far as I can think, there's three options that we have. One option is we stay in the city and try to get out of the sewers and cross a bridge, and then we still got to find our way out of the city. Now, one of the big problems there is on the other side of the bridge, we're getting closer and closer to the south of the city, which is where the media hit. And I don't really think I'm prepared to make an expedition just yet. Option 2, we could try to go out the Black Ivory Inn route and then try to find our way across the Drain River from the outside of the city. It's gonna be a lot safer from contamination from the haze and such, but
It'll take us longer.
it'll take us longer. It'll also be a little bit more. We don't know if we're gonna find any way, because in here we got bridges. Out there,
Hmm.
it's hit or miss. We may or may not find a boat. Third option is the longest. We go back the way we came, all the way. We go back to the Black Ivory Inn, go all the way around, back to Styx.
I'm really thinking option 1 might be our best bet. I don't like it.
Which one was option 1?
Option 1 is we
Through
try
the
to
city.
cross the bridge in the inside. Well, first step in option 1 is we don't go up into Slaughterstone Square, and we find another way up that's not in Slaughterstone Square, because Slaughterstone Square is where the executioner is, which at the moment we don't know how it's operating.
Maybe the Duchess would know something.
How you feeling on your holy batteries there, Petro? How you feeling on?
Yeah, I could use a longer nap than the rest we had earlier.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to really be able to do that here.
Okay,
This
maybe
place-
we go east then. Go around the city. TM, can I ask, would I know would I know for sure that there's a bridge if we go east for a few days?
For sure, no. It might be that this bridge is destroyed, but yeah, there has to be bridges further east going across this river. We're talking days worth of travel, but there has to be one at that point.
So, which direction is the water flowing?
The water is flowing east to west.
So then this water is flowing, fresh water is flowing into the city from the river to the east. It's possible
Yes.
we could actually just swim across that, Petro. Or I don't know how people got across rivers back then. I don't really fancy swimming across there, but aside from that, the only other option is going around the city. Right? I don't.
Oh,
Of all the three of you, it's the cat that is suggesting swimming across.
Yeah,
I love it.
I said don't really fancy it.
it's really, really smart of you, Corey. I hadn't even thought about all that.
Well, I mean, Prior, I gotta be honest with you. I wanted to get way into the city, but I don't know about. I've heard some stories. I know you have too. You've been here for a while. You know what they say the city's like. I don't want to go on all my I only got one of these left, and he holds up his little battery for the spells that he casts. I only got one. And honestly, I didn't really bring the equipment that I need for anything to say. I can boot up my my identification matrix. I can create a little system of alarms, but I don't really have anything else beyond that. All I brought was that equipment.
How about this? What if we go back to the Black Ivory Inn? We go outside, and then we start walking east. We get outside of the haze, and then we set up camp.
Look to
And
Prior.
then if we feel good in the morning, we can find a place to swim across the river in the fresh water.
I'll give me time to charge up some more batteries. Maybe even change a few of my gear out.
It could, but how soon do...
I don't really think we're on a timetable here. We were, paid to find a way in and some. I mean, we already saved Petra. It's not like she's getting any more saved.
We did a very good job, except for all the people that died.
You know what? I have a feeling we're gonna be saying that a lot every time we leave the city.
Oh, I sure hope not. I hope nobody else dies.
You know what? Me too, Petro. I could use more customers.
Of course, that's your motivation.
I'll be
Oh,
honest with you, Brian. I think Petro might be onto something with just getting out of the haze, getting a chance to clear our heads, and trying to think of a plan from out there. I mean,
Hmm.
we've been in the haze now for almost going on 2 days now. We leaving the mill and all this,
Well,
everything.
to the east isn't really a forest that I know that well, but it can't be that different from the forest that I grew up in. So I suspect that once we get out of the haze, I'll be able to figure my way around and find a good spot to camp.
Yeah, I just want to avoid any more trolls. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I gotta
oh,
look both ways before I cross the street.
No, you you don't have nothing to be sorry about. You handled that miraculously. You handled that marvelously, Petro. Okay. That was just something that I don't think we were really prepared for.
yeah.
All right. So, what do you think, Brian? You
I'll
want to?
agree on the long rest.
All right, let's go ahead and get a night's sleep. Well, first we're gonna get out of the Black Ivory Inn.
Yeah, so you move towards the Black Ivory Inn. Like I'll save you like 1 or 2 map changes, which is literally moving tokens around to get outside. Like that's we don't need that.
I get that.
So you make it outside. From there, you travel eastwards until you break free of the haze and then set up camp. That's what we're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So the Black Ivory Inn is already on the edge of the outside of Drakkenheim, called the Spokes. So it is basically turning 2 streets, and you're already on the outskirts. You will not run into anything over there. Breaking free from the edges of Drakkenheim, you will immediately hit what used to be a more thickly placed forested area. Now looking mostly barren, and what little trees and whatnot are still there definitely have taken a hit. They are all brown and dilapidated and old. Like the forest is ready to basically just topple over, it seems. You'll travel for another, say, 2 to 3 hours, which is around the time that nightfall will set in. As you break free of the haze, you will be in a mostly used to be foresty area. Is that where you wish to set up camp?
Yes. Can I also ask, is the Dran River fresh at this point?
It's definitely fresher looking at it, but now that it's getting darker, you notice that there is a certain glow still coming off of the water, but it's definitely less than in the city. You'd assess that potentially, like with some boiling and whatnot, this water would be, well, at least this water would be a lot safer to drink than what is in the inside of the city. Swimming across, it's always a gamble, but it looks better.
Okay. Well, maybe we can go a little further east tomorrow and see if it gets fresher. But I think this is good a place as any to set up camp.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea, Petro.
Yeah.
So Corey, who had previously used like a long wire and bell to create little tripwire kind of thing to alert people, now instead he sets up 4 tiny spikes around a 20-foot area that have a little ball bearing at the top. And when he one of them has a little slot, and he puts the battery in, he presses it, and all 4 of the spikes slide down into the ground. And I'm gonna cast alarm on our area.
Oh, I love that. Sure. In the meantime, I've noticed I don't have a camp map for you guys in the wild, but Barry wouldn't be Barry if he doesn't have a map like that somewhere, so I'm quickly importing it.
Nice.
No worries.
And if there's any trees nearby, like I go up to one of them and I use speech of Beast and Leaf, and I'm like, if the alarm doesn't go off, you warn us too, okay? We're just passing through, and we promise to take good care of this campsite.
All right, who needs
Buddy. Sure.
firewood?
This should work, I imagine, as a camp map. Yeah, there we go.
Ah, nice.
There we go.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Corey would normally try to rig up something.
Ooh,
Like-
I call the purple one.
Aw.
Corey will
I got
try
blue.
to. You got the blue one. Yeah, but he's so tired. He just sort of flops down on the bedroll.
I'm assuming we set these up. They're just like waiting for us.
Yeah, you just walk into a random camp like, oh, guess it's ours now.
Never mind.
Oh, cool. Coffee. They've already got coffee brewing.
Wow.
I mean, we've already got coffee brewing.
Another time loop
Ah.
situation.
Oh God.
Let's turn that into night a little bit.
Mm.
Quick campfire. See, like we can make this. We can make this homely, like
This is nice.
within a couple of seconds.
Mr.
Light up a
Improv
campfire.
here.
There you go.
Yes.
Well done.
Very nice.
All right, so you quickly construct a lean-to of whatever materials you can find to haul your backpacks and the rest under. You put down your bedrolls for the night around a couple of logs between which you create a makeshift campfire. And as the night sets in, you're camping out in the woods for, I believe, the very first time this campaign. Now that it's nighttime and you're in the outside, actually, a little ways away from the city. Petro, you're the most like in tune with nature.
Sure.
Of the three of you, I imagine at some point you're gonna like look up at the heavens or just look for any stars or whatever. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 16.
Cool. You will notice that there's quite a few stars out tonight, but you're noticing that there is somewhat of a purplish glow that is interfering with it / taking away from it. Like there's something there other than just the stars. And you've climbed up on one of these trees before to use your feature to basically also like tell them to alarm you if there's something going on. If you'd be inclined to climb into one of these trees to see like what's what with this purplish glow, you will learn very quickly that as you climb a little higher and you look towards the vicinity of Drakkenheim, something has changed around the city. Now that it's nighttime and temperatures drop a little bit and it gets dark, the city that is already glowing, of course, a little bit because of the delirium, just looks a little different at night. It almost seems as if that haze that is there during the day sort of lifts and becomes more of a blanket around the city, almost like a globe during the night, almost giving off a subtle, glow of light. It seems that this mist that is usually on the ground during the day sort of lifts during the night, which might make traveling across the roads easier. As it both works as a bit of illumination and might clear up the streets a little bit. At the same time, it has a certain ominousness to it. Like, does that intensify the mist or something? You can't really say, but you can definitely see it looks different than during the day.
Interesting. I think I come back down from the tree and it's I didn't know this, but did you guys know that at nighttime the haze actually in Drakkenheim it goes up a little bit and the streets, I don't know if it's safe to sleep there, but it looks like the streets are a little more clear.
Yeah, there's a bit of a pressure differential, Petra. When the sun is hitting the air and it makes it all warm, then the haze in the air have a similar pressure, and they sort of like they match each other. But at night, when the air is cold and the haze is hotter, it lifts. I actually don't know what I'm talking about.
So
I was ready to ask you to roll a deception check. Like, what the hell?
And suddenly he's a scientist.
That's interesting.
Obviously, I know all about pressure differentials. No,
That's interesting, Petro. I think I imagine I've heard someone talking about that at some point. It so far it doesn't seem like anyone knows why. That's really interesting.
Well, maybe maybe we could travel at night, but that sounds like bad advice.
Yeah, the problem is like we could probably travel, but we may want to do it, with a late start during the day. That way we have, our strength and we haven't been traveling for a full day already.
That's true.
I'm just worried about having a full day of surviving, and then expecting to do that over through the night, and you never know what else is active during the night. Maybe the executioner only activates during the night. Maybe maybe those fish people are not so
Exy
not
was
so
active
friend.
during the day, so we know that Exy's active during the day.
Yeah, not sure how delirium affects it. Can't say anything for certain yet. I mean, you're probably right. I don't know. Right, you ever consider staying out of populated areas if you're worried about people finding you? I mean, what keeps you in Drakkenheim?
I don't know. I mean, before I was just in and out looking just for jobs, just to make enough money to just disappear. But something's made me change that opinion lately.
What do you mean?
The pocket watch my uncle gave me, there's... It sounds silly, but that riddle that I read when we first met, it actually had an inscription on the back of my pocket watch. And she's pulling out her pocket watch at this point to show him, and she's doing the direction of what it said and pops it open, and it pops open on the back.
His eyes go wide like Puss in Boots. Mm.
So you show this to Corey, right?
Yes.
Corey, do you realize what this says? Because I know that Briar does not. Like, she can read, obviously, but do you know what this is?
I mean, the language here, that looks like Hooded Lantern talk. The fourth provision. I don't know off the top. Or like Daniel doesn't know. I don't know if Corey knows.
Give me a because you've had dealings with quite a few people working in Amberwood Village. Give me a make it a history check.
I say I'm pretty sure I remember hearing about the night commander or night captain, night commander. Yeah. Who's history check? Let's see.
The Lord Commander.
Lord Commander. I remember Lord Commander doing some things where he was like sending armies in to try to reclaim the capital.
It's a 14.
The 14. Yeah, you'll remember this. Over the last 15 years, when the meteor came crashing down, obviously the city was in disarray when that happened. But soon enough after, reports came in of horrendous beings being in the city and death and destruction, bandits moving in, the whole shebang. And because a lot of the army was lost already to the meteor, they basically scrounged together whatever they could from, private armies from lords and barons around the area, as well as what was left of the original army and the city guard, and they put it together as an expeditional force. A couple of them were erected, and a name such as the 4th Provisionary Expedition Force to reclaim the capital, that was one of those forces. As a matter of fact, it is the only force that is still around. The 4th Provisionary Expedition Force to reclaim the capital was decimated when they tried their attempt on the city. But what remained of this force basically culminated into what we now today know as the Hooded Lanterns. It is mostly the remnant of the city guard blended in with a bit of soldiers here and there. So looking at this, Corey, you recognize this as basically this is the Hooded Lanterns.
Yeah, I remember this. The Lord Commander, he didn't used to be the Hooded Lantern, chief. He was actually the Lord Commander of Drakkenheim. He was basically the military leader of the entire city back before the meteor. He and I want to say Manfred would try. They were trying to go back into the castle or something like that, or maybe it was the other one. I can't remember her name, but they were trying to reclaim the castle, and they tried a bunch of different times, and I would have said it was give up after the third time, at least go a little bit more prepared. But after the last time, fourth time, they
they stopped. They gave up, and they what was left of them, they formed what we now deal with today is the Hooded Lanterns. So I mean, heck, maybe Ansem knows more about this. He's been with them longer than I've been dealing with them.
Oh, you know what they say, the fourth time's a charm.
It didn't work.
This is a
Petro.
well-known Furbolg proverb.
I mean, maybe the fifth time would be the charm, because the fourth time definitely didn't work. It wasn't a charm.
Why would he have this? She's kind of like just sitting there, like kind of just taking it all in, and just kind of like.
Oh,
Whoa.
Also,
Why
Brian,
this?
if it says provisional expeditionary force, this is before the Hooded Lanterns became the Hooded Lanterns. This is back a few years back when they were still trying to take back the capital.
Yeah. The 4th Expeditionary Expedition Force was around about 4 to 5 years ago. So, yeah, it's quite a while.
I mean, it's possible that, they suffered a lot of casualties, but it's possible that still around part of the Hooded Lanterns now.
But just, I don't understand why my uncle would give me this, and let alone.
Do you know the name? What does the name Vincent Engers mean to you?
Doesn't really sound very familiar to me.
What's your uncle's name?
Morgan has forgotten what she's named her uncle.
Steve.
So while you look that up, there's some filigree on in the inner workings where the dials are, because Corey, like, he actually noticed the writing second. He was more interested in the gears and inner workings initially. There's some filigree on that. Does that have any meaning, or is that just for flavor?
It's just for flavor. The only thing that it really that has meaning is the text there.
Okay. I was gonna say there's ARFS on the filigree. I was like, does that mean anything?
Also,
Anyway.
I'm quickly looking through everything that we've been through about your backstory, and honestly, your uncle has never been mentioned by name. It's your uncle, so give him a name. Go ahead.
I'm going to give him a name. Darren Aurelia.
Darren Aurelia. So it's not Vincent Angus. That kind of rules that out. So, did he ever have any dealings with? Wait, so this was before the Hooded Lanterns were the Hooded Lanterns. How did he? Did he ever indicate how he came by this pocket watch? Does this pocket watch mean something special to you?
He just, one day he just gave it to me and said, one day I'll need it. And at the time I kind of just laughed at him, because I was like, well, this thing is broken. How could this thing ever work for me? And so I just assumed that it was just something he wanted to give me as a gift.
Want me to fix it?
If you'd like to try, it just doesn't really tell time anymore. And as she's like taking off the pocket watch, Morgan is having issues finding the latch. There we go.
He's like, honey, I can make this thing tell the weather.
And she just kind of takes it off and just hands it off to Corey.
Oh man, this would be. Oh wait, this would be the perfect time. I don't have it. Damn it. I had a little pocket watch that looks very similar to that. It'd be great. Like, you give it to me.
For some reason, she gave it to me.
Oh man. Oh, that's the worst. Oh well. Next time.
I don't know why, but I just got a pocket watch.
Hey,
I'm using that. Well. So yeah, he'll start tinkering with it. He's gonna make very sure not to mess with the lettering at all. Just the gears and stuff.
Sure. Beyond that, you're gonna settle in for the night for a long rest. Is anyone taking? Anyone gonna have a look at it, or are you just gonna like believe the alarms will wake you up if something goes wrong. Like, get some sleep beyond the tinkering that you're doing right now.
Yeah, I'll trust the alarms will go off.
Me too. Of course, I'm gonna trust them. I'm the one who made them.
Petra already fell asleep.
Fair enough. You'll tinkle some more, Corey. Roll me a flat d20, please.
Alrighty. I can do that. Roll. I got a 5.
It will require some more extensive work. Like, you probably popped a couple more gears into place, but it will require some more love and work to get it to actually be a functional pocket watch.
I'm gonna hand it back
So
to Briar for now.
Yeah. As the three of you drift off to sleep after a hard day's work, which it was, as you escaped from a time bubble, you've destroyed a monstrous being over there, and you've confirmed that the smuggler's route is indeed still active, running into the cistern with all the creatures that are there. This was indeed a hard day's work, and hard work is rewarded, my friends. You are now level 4.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say we got a long rest, and I was excited about that. But, hell yeah!
So you can level up and take your long rest, of course, and we will see next week what you guys will have picked, because we're also quits over here. And I'm curious to see what you guys have picked for level 4 next week.
Mhm.
I all selections abound. I just want more health.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, you can never have enough of in Drakkenheim, right?
That would be
cool.
exceedingly useful. Yeah.
I got hit once. I'm dying. Yay! The lady of the piano nearly one shot me. I would think I was 2 at one point. I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I might actually take Dex just to improve my AC. I feel like the higher I can get that, the better. That's how I feel about it.
Mhm.
just take con to shrug off the attack. Oh man. Okay. Well, that was amazing. That was awesome. Welcome back, everybody. After a little bit of a hiatus, it's nice to be back.
Absolutely, and you did wonderful. You survived the encounter with the shrimp,
Oh,
if you will.
God.
Yeah, those are creepy. Like,
Shelly.
when you guys were walking over there, I was like, oh, that's potentially, because, like, the cistern isn't like, it's not that you can't go there, but, like, Drakkenheim is deadly, and this is one of those areas. So I'm glad that you survived.
I'll always be fluffy in my heart.
We walked from a deadly area to another area, which just also turned out to be deadly. And then we rested in an area that would have been deadly had we not met some denizens, and underneath a very deadly area. You know, Drakkenheim, land of the deadly.
Why is everything trying to kill me?
Oh god.
Man, like, it's almost like you play D&D, right?
Right.
At least we know that everybody in the inn got away, right, Petro?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so sorry for Petro.
Oh.
All right.
We'll see all of you next week. Thank you so much for hanging around. Thank you so much for watching and or listening, depending, of course, on what channel you are, because we are on Twitch, we are on YouTube, we are on podcasts, wherever you want to follow us. We are there, and we are very appreciative of your watching, listening, and or followage that you might have dropped in case you haven't done so already. Please give us a like, subscribe, or the equivalent of whatever platform you are on, because it really helps us out. Thank you so much for being here. We love all of you individually.
Tell them about the shorts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we're starting to crank out shorts as well. They're really funny. Holy shit, they really are. So if you look on YouTube, YouTube shorts or whatnot. Yeah,
YouTube
we have a
Shorts.
couple under our name as well. You want to see them. They're really
Also
funny.
TikTok, also Instagram.
Yes.
Find them there.
Yep. We're branching out on all these social media platforms. Well, we're trying to branch out, but we're doing our best. So yeah, bear with us as we do. Please follow us over there as well. It's a major help.
Great to see
All
you
right.
all.
And with that, we'll see you next week.